and the Yi Sun Shin on the same lineup. So might as well ban it out para medyo mahirapan ng line ng pick si H2O. And si H2O, when he gets pushed into these situations, what are the picks he gets? Sometimes he will go Harit. Sometimes may Bruno din yan. Minsan, di ba? And Harit is the one that they pick up.
I see. Actually, sort of a deny pick yun kasi yun din yung possible dito ni Hit. Pero what I'm leaning towards is Cecil yun eh. Kasi kumbaga, we've been watching kanina yung MPL from up the bat is gonna be the Lunox.
Uy! Teka, boy! Teka lang.
Healing galing meta yata to, Kuya Rakart ah.
Ito yung pangdikitan. Pati yung mage nila pangdikitan yan eh. Kaya that's the reason why they picked the Hylos as well. Unang-unang game pa lang, may pinapakita na yung Exe. And on the other side, pwede pa nila ma-counter to.
Totoo. At ito, Kuya Rakart, ang naaalala ko, ginawa na to ng Execration way back Season 4 yata.
Season 4.
Yung parang...
Uso pa yung Estes nun.
Oo, the 0-4-1 rotation. Tapos, ang banat nun, mga kaibigan, sa mga hindi nakakaalam nun, is push lang talaga ang galaw nila. Kumbaga may isa silang lane na almost nininiglect. Pero, yung apat na yon talagang isa lang ang focus doon is to dish out damage, remove turrets kaagad doon sa napili nilang lane na babasagin. Pero yeah, we have to, masyadong madami tayong iniisip. Pero gusto ko na lang magulat dahil ito, mga kaibigan, unang-unang sa agupaan itong dalawang team na to, mainit na mainit. Rakart, isang mabilis. Who do you think will win dito lang sa draft lang? Dito lang sa draft.
Sa draft lang nito, I think Execration maganda yung battle plan nila to get towers. Isang way para manalo yun. Pero mas comfort yung nakita ko dito sa NXP. So I think NXP might take game 1 here.
Oo, actually, I'm on the same boat with you in regards to that. Kasi ang naisip ko naman dito, if all else fail at nakuha nila dito si YSS ng Execration, definitely somehow it might fall apart for the side of Execration. So probably I'll go for NXP solid din for game number 1 just basing on the draft.
That's right. So here we go, ladies and gents. Mainit na mainit. Execration versus NXP. Dalawang linggo na nilang inaabangan to. Sa totoo lang, hindi lang isa eh. Dalawang linggo yun inaabangan. Here we go.
Totoo yan. Nakakatapos pa nga lang ng week number 2 natin. Nakapost na kagad tong laban na to. 1 week prior, inihintay na nila kung sino. Pero ito na mga kaibigan, sa inyong harapan, yung dalawang team na gustong-gusto nyong makita dito sa MPL na magsagupaan.
Yep, here we go. Chakno again, they are zoning. So, kakalmahan lang nila yon. Tatry nilang i-deny itong buff. Purple buff, napaka-asim, napaka-agang engage. Using the Terizla, do they have enough damage? Tingin ko kaya naman, pero Chakno, hindi pa yung nagpapakita. Talaga nasa bush lang siya. Ayaw niyang po target.
Ang ganda talaga nun, pero
now in the meta, you need to reduce your opponent's HP first before you try to go for the invade so that they will not think about defending it. That wasn't available. Nevertheless, by 2 minutes in, this is amazing. You get level 4 already on Zapno with the penalty zone. You can easily initiate. And they're going for a little bit of a power push top or maybe just some pressure. And maybe wait for Etomax as well to get his levels up.
Yep. They got a vision down. Actually, Renegade has an idea that someone is hiding up top. I actually see Yaoi rolling already. Spotting heat here. And Chaknu.
This is an incredibly greedy lineup from Execration, especially with the way they play. I thought that this was going to be a full funnel.
Look at the flank on Zapnu.
Oh, it's just some some damage being dealt now. Anyway, I want to go back to what I was saying. Execration going for a very greedy approach in the game. I thought that they would go full funnel Yi Sun Shin on Benicute, but instead Hate is a little bit. There's a little bit of a mixture when it comes to their distribution of wealth.
Yeah, I'm actually curious who has the majority of wealth here for the side of EXE. Mount HR gets casted here, and the buff is still secured by the members here of NXP. Zapnu once again might be punished here. Might be the third blood for this game. Focus on Iaknu once again, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. A quick 2-0 on the same spot here by NXP. So, Lid.
Oh man, I wonder what Execration is seeing there that they did not change their mind. They fully committed that. We do know that with the level 4 available in Yaoi, it's impossible for them to win the fights. Why? Because of the ultimate. And there's a natural counter of the backshot against the sustained strats. That's why I felt that this is a questionable Estes pick coming out from Execration.
Indeed.
It kind of felt like Execration is saying, we're not looking at your heroes. We're building our own draft. And unfortunately, that won't work against this lineup of NXP. At least in the early game.
Yeah.
At least in the early game.
And the thing here is that they are diving way too deep. If you look at the Gillette Instant Replay, they're diving way too deep against an Initiate comp.
That's right.
Of NXP. Like, NXP can easily dive on that choke.
Yeah,
right?
So easily. And because of this,
oh man,
the turtle
well,
gonna
that's
be secured by
good.
Hate.
Yeah, for Execration. Yeah, we will be just getting some damage down for Hate, but I think that's it. That's one turtle again for Execration.
The strength of Execration, though, is that they can really go for the power pushes like this. The jump from the penalty zone, and Yaoi might be in trouble.
Yeah, you did mention that they can go for the power push, and I will be doing so. Artillery minion gets cleared quickly. There's good distance between the mid minion. Chester is still there, and of course, H2 and MB took the time in getting the kill against BenQ.
Problem now with having this double, not really a double funnel, because that won't exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, you sacrifice one core as Zapnu gets a value kill out of MB in their bottom lane.
Very interesting stayed there by MB. They were able to get a kill onto Benicute. They didn't rotate on the mid. Just stayed there. Maybe wait out for Zapnu to engage. And MB, I mean with the thumbs, just, you know, stand in front of the Terizla. He got the full combo in.
Man.
So there's some mishaps as well on the side of NXP.
The third round of buffs again contested. 3 times the charm for Execration. Not gonna be the case.
You have to walk away. Hate here, soaking up a lot of damage. Of course, gonna have his Order of Brilliance proc, but still, that's gonna be it. I think they're gonna be giving away the Little Wanderer.
Well, a very primal approach from Execration, Shinbu.
Yeah.
That they're going for this two core setup.
Yeah.
Not a funnel. A 2-core setup.
Yeah.
Which from our experience playing as any sports won't work so much.
Yeah, and we were doing this actually, me and Manjin as the 2-core. But the thing here is that if the game drags on really late, like on plateau of strength, it might favor Execration. Okay?
Yeah, no, Shinbu, that really segues into my second point of how primal this is as an approach from Execration. This is a classic, let's just get to the late game and we'll outplay you.
Yeah. I think let's just get into the late game.
Why?
That might be the shining light here for Execration.
You know why I said that, Shinbu? Because there's a lot of wave clear in Execration and they also have this arrival. And they're doing their best, putting their bodies against turrets so that they can defend.
Yes, alright. But they still can fight this turtle. They're securing turtles here. That gives insurance for Execration to come into the late game. Zapnu catches 3 from the penalty zone, and that's what we are talking about. This is a team that has been explosive since Season 1. Now on Season 6, they're gonna be delivering a fix against the face of NXP. 3-for-1.
3-for-1, and that was Execration showing us how it's done.
Oh my god.
Very primal in terms of form and approach. Just outplay your opponents. Wait for that wonderful initiation by your opponents and
a play by Zapnu.
Zapnu all of a sudden. Saying, I'm not washed out. I'm gonna show you how it's done, man.
Yeah, look at that. Old Mobile Legends. Old style Mobile Legends. Very old style Mobile Legends. Bang!
And even the usage of the retribution is wonderful from Hate. And this is the classic approach of winning matches. It won't matter how much lead your opponent has. If you land that big stun, big ticket ultimate, he might win the game.
Yeah, fight as a team, but it doesn't necessarily mean that NXP cannot fight this back. Let us see. Ladies and gentlemen, down for the front line, Betty Cutie will be slain quickly. MB to the front line, gets clapped on by Hate. That's gonna be it. The Chaos Darkening activated coming in from Hate. Keeps the distance. There is gonna be the brush. Yawi is holding on to that one. And there's the re-engage once again. H2 here. Hate may proc his brilliance. He has it on. Still the first kill. He's trading up. Half health. He was able to get a kill. Still, Hate has the brilliance. Hate has the brilliance. Spinning out. There you go. But the problem is, where is the distance? Renegade dancing around.
Yeah.
Very weird positioning there by
Yeah, he could have just backed down,
back out, yeah.
And maybe just sacrifice E to Max. Now they might both die together. And that's going to be a kill.
Oh, yeah. Wow, very willing to fight this Execration squad.
They are fighting again in the terms of NXP. No, Betty Cutie.
Bad blood! Bad blood, ladies and gentlemen. No one's backing out. No one's backing out.
There's no other explanation but bad blood, especially this clash, man. Yeah. This is pure. What is the English term? It's just aggressiveness, it's just friction, it's just tension between two teams. Normally, other teams will just say, okay, just go get your own purple box. We're just backed out. By the way, a bad call there from Execration, losing Benny Cutie.
Yeah, losing Benny Cutie. Not to mention, even Hate here, really very willing to trade with H-Stock. You can imagine this guy shouting while playing. But let us see. There's going to be another fight. This is what we are talking about in this matchup. Execration and NXP, nobody's letting up. We are, ladies and gentlemen, already into the mid game. This is the main event.
The main event, man. And we're on our feet now. Chester, there it is. Hate and Chakno grouping up just to get a kill on that squishy support. And on the other part of the map, however, NXP, Solid, they are able to get something. Yeah. There's a lot of wave clear. This puts them a little bit ahead of Execution, but it's not going to be enough.
Look at that. A possible team fight. What is new?
What is new? 8 and 13, 21 combined kills in 9 minutes of game time.
And still just, less than 500 gold lead. Iyakno here with the glorious pathway. Look at the backside. There is gonna be Rene J. They're not committing into this fight. Maybe Execution was able to spot out where Rene J can come in. Had it been they committed, that would have been NXP's win.
Yep. Here's the thing. Execution, they do have very good turnaround when it comes to team fights because of the penalty zone, the heals, and the fact that they can layer together with the Mountain Shock. Rene J with the ultimate trying to run away now, Shinbu.
He did flicker out. That's gonna be it. Yawi forces the brilliance away from Hate. This makes it awkward. Chaknu sacrifices himself. Yep. You know why? Zapnu goes for the split up top. Hate gets caught out still, and Etamax knows it. No one can fight this. Push might be completed as well by NXP down for the bot.
And we know that this is the power spike of NXP Solid. This is their timing. They can constantly just fight and fight and fight, and evidently now in the mid game they have gotten everything they need. This isn't out a massive lead for NXP Solid, but the fact that the items are present on big cores and that they are fighting to utilize it to get push and to get kills, that's good for NXP Solid.
And actually explain that Chester not letting up Zapnu there. There is his diversion. Just to corner Zapnu. Rene J is left here. Falling Star Moon committed against Benny Cutie down for the front line. Chaknu is spotting out where the members of NXP may come in. They're focusing now for the purple. Gonna be securing that buff there. And now, not anymore a turtle, but the Lord started on by NXP.
Power, the study, the theory of mid-game versus late-game, knowing that you have a lot of mages on the side of NXP. They flourish in the mid-game when they do get their items. And Benny Cutie hasn't really established his dominance yet in this game.
Yes.
In fact, as a marksman, he doesn't have enough items yet against his opponents. His 6.1k, the Blade of Despair in, and if you compare that to these massive mages from NXP Solid, he cannot win a team fight for sure. With Execution, they'll need to wait for a lot of time. Will the NXP let them have it though?
Yeah, you want the late game. You need a lot of time. We did get our fair share of early mid-game team fights, right? But without a doubt, Execution, biggest strength here falls into the late game. They got 2 cores against H2. The problem is, will NXP stop strangling them? They're going to be focusing on the mid, and the inner will be given away by Execution.
How disciplined is Execution on their defense? How strong are they?
Oh
Doesn't
my God.
look that much. They're wave clear. requires them to be in front of the minions or the Lord, which might be a problem against NXP Solid in this specific match now.
Yeah, and NXP wants to push forward, get a decent stack here down for the mid, and one fell down. There's gonna be the arrival coming in from Zapno. As you know, she can wave clear the top. The Lord will be falling down. Critical health for Yawi down for the mid. Renegade is quite quick. There's still one artillery, one for the melee, and one for the mage. And Renegade gets focused on by the member of EXE. Bottom lane is destroyed. There's still one artillery in the mid. Second inhib, secured by NXP. And that's it for Zap and P. No more late game here for EXE because you got the minion waves coming in as the base gets destroyed.
No
and
way.
NXP takes this methodically. That's it. NXP takes game number 1 against Execration.
A little bit of sugar and spice and everything's nice for NXP Solid, because literally what they just did is to punish
Look at
what
that.
Execration is doing.
Look at that.
Use their draft to their advantage, and I'm sure that they're happy with
Yeah,
this.
look at that. Look at the.
You know what's perfect now
Yeah.
for NXP? They
Yeah.
defeated Execution with Zapnu in
With
it.
Zapno in it. Yeah, that's
I
one.
I really want to go to the chat for both the Filipino and the English coverage, and
Yeah.
that will be a treat
Yeah,
for me
it's
for
crazy.
sure.
It's crazy. You can actually see how proud.
Yeah.
Like whenever they're raising their phones,
That's
seeing
right.
the result, showing the result, because of course our players are playing at the comfort of their homes.
That's right.
You know, you can feel. Yeah, game one.
Oh man. How many times have you hyped it? And you know that it's great because here's the thing. NXP against Execution, it went down the wire when it comes to the team fights. Which is weird because it's not much of the method. It's more the madness when this game one happened.
Indeed. I'm actually just happy because Manjin because this battle is also between me and Manjin. And for our Saturday meal,
If you don't know, guys,
Yeah.
because we cannot bet on real money.
Yeah.
We betted our lunch.
Our lunch, yes. It's really crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's still 1-0. I cannot but feel that Execution has a lot more to answer against NXP. That's a very unique lineup, by the way.
It was a risk that they had to take, and it did not bode well for them.
Let's look into Butter's analysis for this.
Team number 1, sobrang linis ng pinakitang performance ng dalawang teams, but there are a bit of lapses in terms of decision making na nagawa dito yung side ng Execration. And let's talk about it more in just a bit, pero ito lang yung masasabi ko doon. Reactive plays actually hurt you more dun sa inaakala mo. Medyo nagkaroon ng reaction dito yung Execration. They really wanted to go for the invade, kaso nagiging problema nila is they can't really fight. And that's where Chester and Yawi actually made a point. Nakikita ko naman dito kung anong gusto talaga gawin ng NXP. They really just wanted to give everything para kay H2O. Execration, ang sabi lang naman nila dito, invade natin yung purple para malimit natin yung pwedeng gawin ng Harriet. And they did just that. And by the way, this certain item na ginawa ni MB dito, the Deadly Blade, ng maagang-maaga, he just went in with this. Ay, not that. Hindi yan. Ito, yan. He went with this item, first item pa lang, even if may back siya na sila kay Yawi. And what they did was, they just shut down yung hero dito na ginagamit ni Eto Max. And Chakno dito, hindi din, sabihin natin, maganda yung performance ni Chakno, pero kasi nag-rely sila sa isa't isa. And kapag may Deadly Blade ng tumama at may ultimate na ni Yawi, o yung passive ni Yawi dito ay nag-play out para sa kanila, lahat ng pagiging, sabihin natin, tanky and sustainability dito ng side ng Execration ay unti-unting nawawala. So, that is about it. Let's see here. Nagkaroon pa ng onting sulat dito, ladies and gentlemen. Ayun natin dito. But right now, let's see yung kanilang mga graphs. This is the post-match data. Renegade Esmeralda dito doing a very great job just controlling the lanes. Ito yung sinasabi natin na hindi mo kailangan masyadong, hindi mo kailangan masyadong magpakita ng ideas in terms of what you're gonna do. Ang ginawa lang ni Renegade dito, sumunod lang siya sa agos dito ng ating team. So, ang ginawa niya is he always looked out for the right position. Kung papansinin nyo, every single time na may away na mangyayari, what Renegade does is pumupunta lang siya doon and he gives the idea na lagi akong aalalay kapag kakailangan nyo ako. On the other hand, Benny Cutie, hindi niya nagawa yung kanyang gustong gawin dito. Obviously, he really wanted to get a lot of items, just have the damage to take down people here onto the side of NXP. Kaso doon nagkaroon ng onting problema. He was really shut down and nabigay yung priority kay Hate. So that is a lot of things going on here. Kung napapansin nyo, meron namang idea for both teams dito. Actually, Execration nga, nahawakan naman nila kahit papano yung Turtles. But in a way, yung collapse na nangyari sa kanila dito is very uncharacteristic. You don't really see that from Execration in the other games, but for this game, pakiramdam ko, NXP did their homework and napakita naman nila na, hoy, tama yung ginagawa natin dito, ipagpatuloy lang natin. I do not really expect anything na magbago for the side of NXP, but for Execration, back to the drawing board sila dito. So what is the thing na pinaka-importante dito para sa both sides? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sustain. Sustain. Teka lang, medyo mabagal ako magsulat eh. Sustain, and that is what really happened through all out the game. Lahat ng sustain na yan is na X dito for both teams. And what really just happened there was, accounted for naman lahat talaga ng heroes na ginagamit dito ng side ng both teams eh. But the problem was, sabihin na lang natin, hindi talaga nagkaroon ng pop-off moment dito si Benny Cutie. Yawi, on the other hand, phenomenal performance coming out from this guy. Once again, nakita natin yung Kufra niya last week and right now he's doing a great job just giving out etong mga positions na to para sa kanyang team. Chester, kung nakita nyo at this moment on, nakakuha siya ng Necklace of Durance and it really helped the idea pa na kahit papano ay talaga magkakaroon pa ng mas malaking lamang dito yung next play solid. And right now, if you would see this is the time na talagang sabihin na natin, NXP just won that game. So H2O will be our player of the game, MVP of the game rather, and this is really his style. H2O Harith, sobrang komportable niya dito, ladies and gentlemen, and this is not new to us. Lagi natin napapansin to, na kapag ka nakuha niya yung buff at nabigay sa kanya lahat ng kailangan niya gawin, he just goes for it at hindi siya magdadalawang isip doon. So, looking at it, Star Shard, Holy Crystal, everything that he needs, one death. Ito yung pinaka nagiging bentahe dito ng isang H2O. 7-1-11, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the thing about H2O. That's the thing about good assassins, good carries, is that whenever you have this stat, napakababa ng deaths mo, you are most likely to succeed in the game. And just win the game, all rather. So, right now, we are just gonna go back into, sabihin na natin, ang ating analysis dito for game number 2. The thing I would like to question is, ano nga ba yung things na kailangan ayusin dito ng side ng Execration? Giveaway code is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Pamimigay natin yan. And dahil mabait kayo, meron pang isang ibibigay, which is another giveaway code na nandito kasi meron pong sumaling 20,441 participants sa ating Mythic Glory draw. So that is going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Pakiramdam ko, ibalik na natin to sa ating mga casters. Rob Luna, Rockhart, Wolf, Shinbu, kamusta kayo dyan?
Thank you so much for the good insights, Butters PH. And yeah, I would agree. It was of the sustain. It was of the counter on the first hand. But I would also agree on your point earlier.
Yeah.
It's a very hard, if they have a sustain comp.
Yes.
But ironically, it's a very hard to sustain comp because it's greedy.
It's incredibly greedy.
Yeah.
What we're talking about greedy is that you need the stars to align.
Yeah. To make that work.
To make it work,
Yeah.
basically speaking. So there are two layers here. First, that they need to make work is that it is a double core setup.
Yes.
Normally, we say channel the hate for the side of Execration because they always channel and funnel everything onto
Yes.
hate. This time they had Yisenchin and the Lunox, and from experience, it won't work. Or at least it's not easy to pull off. The second layer that we want to take note here is that they are going for a sustained composition that we know Execration did before.
Yeah.
When they did it in MPL Season 4 and Season 5, they were successful with it because there wasn't any existence of a Baksha yet or a Deadly Blade.
Yeah.
They were totally countered here.
Look at
What I don't like about the way they drafted is that Baksha was already available for the opposing team and they still picked up the Estes, and that's where the questions now come into place.
Yeah, I also want to emphasize because I kind of but feel that I'm quite good in observing player tendencies. Kind of but feel like if someone is getting wasted on one role or on one hero, and yeah, I mean, YSS is good for a carry, for a core, but I think Benekit would be enabled more on some more proactive heroes, especially for the early games.
Yeah. I think
for the most part, I mean, it's if you are a core, if you're playing like on a core hero like YSS, whenever a fight happens, there are two decisions coming into your mind. Will I farm?
Yeah.
Or will I try to convert somewhere else? Or will I join the fight?
Yeah.
Most of the time on Benekit, especially when he is playing Cho, he joins the fight. He makes impactful plays on that one. Sometimes he even initiates, right?
That's right.
And
There came a point where we were talking about Executor. That was last week, and we were saying, "Oh, Benekit is valid for an MVP of the week because of how well he plays around his team, how he participates into team fights."
Yeah, and actually observe the past games. I mean, he has been rolling on more proactive melee heroes here. You got Lancelot as well on the hands of Benekit here. So why not? Why put the YSS here?
Now, what is this?
Wow.
An overreaction from Execration meant that they will give away the Selena to NXP Solid, the 100% picked and banned hero.
Oh my god.
Nevertheless, Execration, I like that they have solidified their side lanes now.
Yes, with Khalid. The Khalid pick is good. I just can't help but feel that the Selena, not banning the Selena is too much. Trading the Harit for the Selena is too much here.
A backshot pick once again from NXP Solid. And
Chester.
they are gonna go with a Cho.
Chester will go Super Saiyan here.
Oh yeah.
Chester is very angry, you know that.
Yeah, his focus is
he wants to get he really wants to destroy Zapnu. He really wants to my term here is indeed that. Destroy Zapnu, destroy Execration. And what more enables him with that? But a Selena, right?
Yeah, you can see it from NXP. This is an Aether special, to say the least. For the longest time, one of the runners of this Selena. Yeah. But obviously, this is one of the better picks in what we know as the running meta. Now, Execration, while it's true that they have secured very good heroes, this is still them showing their hand. Yeah. Showing both of your side laners. That might be the best. Oh, Valier pick from Execration. What does his answer so far? Well, it's good against jumpers because it can do the pushback with the searing turret. So that's good. It's percent based. The damage is also good against the tank heroes of NXP. What I don't like though is that there's not much execution factor now for Execration.
For Execration. Not to mention the Valier is left vulnerable here. I'm accounting for the next bans for Execration side. And I was looking into a ban towards a Lancelot, a Ling. Well, maybe not the Ling anymore, but a Lancelot, the Renija hero here, Hellcurt. Because that Valier might be an easy target here now for the remaining picks of NXP.
Look at NXP now, Shinbu. We're talking about how important the tank support matchups are. And we know that somebody needs to take over for both teams. And NXP Solid answering that with the straight-up ban of the Atlas and the Kufra, the Chaknu specials. And we know that Chaknu is such a good player, but if he's not enabled,
there we go.
He'll not have it.
Yeah, and there we go. That was a good ban, the Lancelot. Especially against H2. What I'm worrying now, the only left pick here for Chaknu would be the PNK.
Yeah. I don't like the side of a PNK plus the Valier combo. There's not much initiation in it, although there is Khalid. And we might go into that realm of that no tank setup for Execration where your tankiest hero could be the Khalid, and I like
exhausting the Chaknu hero here.
Chaknu heroes. What is left? Maybe another Hylos? That's not gonna bode well for Execration. Is it time for the Grak, however? Is it time for the Grak?
Grak might be good.
Roger.
Or you go Roger first, and they will last pick the Chaknu hero, the Chaknu special. So this is Execration all in on the duels. And there's a lot of melee heroes for Execration that they might be punished now for NXP. Looking at possible side laners now for NXP Solid. We were talking about the Carmilla. And NXP Solid is a team that we know
rolls out the Carmilla effectively, quite effectively. And let us see, there you go. We will have the Ling. This might be a nice dent.
Oh man,
against the formation of NXP, but it got reinforced quickly by the Gatot Kacha pick. But look at that.
Oh man, here they go
Chaknu hero will be
the Khalid. And what I do like about Execution is that there are no gray areas for this team, man.
Yeah.
If they're all in, they're all in.
They're all in.
If there's no tank, there's literally no tank for Execution.
Right. Man,
They went
Alice.
full sustain previous game, and they said, we don't do balance.
Against the back siya, ha?
There's no balance in Execution. There's only greed. And well, greed is not there, but double down, triple down, all in for Execution. That's how they do it. They're gambits, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna do. They're gonna go all in.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm actually accounting for the picks. The Alice pick is good against the Gatot Kacha. Gatot Kacha was good against the Roger. It was shown, right? There is the Ling. The Ling is quite weaker right now because of the heavy hits on him on the recent patch. Right? There's the nerf down onto the Ling, but this is still H2 we're talking about. And yes, even though there is the nerf on the Ling, that's still a core. All the core. I mean, whenever nerfs are done, usually it's a reduction against the explosiveness, not necessarily on the consistency required for a core. And I can't help but feel this is H2 we are talking about. He can still get into the late game monster that he has always done.
Yeah.
So
Ling is gonna be a big problem, Shin, but there's no catch.
There you go.
It's a 2-0.
Easy lunchtime for me. Easy bonus lunch for me for
here's
tomorrow
the
against
thing.
Manji.
Everything from NXP solid. Every single hero is good against each matchup. The Gadokacha destroys the melee composition of Execution, and it's gonna destroy the Roger.
Yeah.
The Selena is gonna amplify the objective taking potential as well as the jungle clear of NXP Solid. If there's anything that's good for Execution, it's gonna be the side lane push coming out from the Thams as well as the Alice. But when the team fights will happen, and that's gonna happen in the mid game, they're not gonna be favored at all.
Yeah. Oh man, Zapno is actually taking some tower dives here. I'm actually very curious about the running invades. There goes Chaknu. H2 secures his own buff. Forces the flicker out on Chaknu. He might be able to walk away. Where is any... Are there any flickers? No, none. Coming in from NXP. Pushback done in by Etomax. Chester here with the arrow. He go for the bite. He will. They
Oh, they
commit.
know.
No. I thought Etomax might deliver the trap onto Chaknu. Chaknu gets spotted here. And there goes Hate. He gets the kill onto Chester. This might be 2 kills done for the main carry of Execution. But H2 re-engage. Those are early kills.
Oh, not...
My man, for the Ling. Not gonna be very good news here. Yawi backs up. There's gonna be Hate. Goes for the Cyclone Eye. Re-engage. Yawi might be another victim falling against an EXE. Very cutie on attack. Oh! He got the brush down. There's no more auto attack available here from the Alice, and that's it. That settles 2-1 in favor of NXP.
Okay. So NXP definitely get the upper hand in there, especially because they gave 2 kills to the H2O hero.
Oh my god.
And also, a kill on Hate is good. One thing that maybe Execution can look into that specific clash because it went too long. At least their cores or their side laners get the farm on the side lanes. However, there is no save for this for Execution. That is definitely a couple of mistakes on their part. And I like that Yawi has survived in there.
Execution is always wild, you know.
Hey, they are.
Very, very wild.
Hate misses. This is how you feel that Execution is not in the groove.
Yeah.
Even Hate with that Lycan pounce really puts himself against the wall and not going to be able to get out in there.
Yeah, and look at it here. H2 knows the lead that he has.
Yeah.
The only problem right now for the Link is the patch.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. But H2 is feeling confident. He's been jumping around, trying to spot out where Execution will exit from their own jungle.
Yeah.
But that's it. This establishes... the gold lead falls in favor a bit for the side of NXP. But this is... NXP is now on the driver's seat.
For Execution, they need to control the early game because that's the Roger lineup. The moment that they lose their foothold of the game, that's the moment that they also lose.
Yeah,
also,
Roger lineup, man.
This is such a good Ling game that you're feeling it, and H2O feels it. He's diving because he knows that it is a good Ling game. Looking at the heroes that it can burst down, literally everyone. The problem with the Khalid is that the sustain is a little bit fake on the Khalid, so that he needs to ramp it up. It's not solid, tank it up like how Baksha does it or how Kufra or a Grok does it. Khalid needs to pray before he's able to strengthen himself up as they take another one, the bottom lane. Chester and Red J pairing up for a kill on Zapnu.
And stickers are popping out.
Chester and Zapnu, man.
Chester, man. Especially onto Zapnu. That's 3-1. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaknu doing what he can. I really feel like, the Chakno playstyle fits, durable tanks.
You know what? I am tasked, Mr. Shinbu, to make sense of of both teams' lineups.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I cannot find anything that will save Execration now. I thought that if they do secure the first 2 minutes of the game, they might have a chance.
Yeah.
But they are now far from it. 3-1 with 1,000 gold, more than 1,000 gold for NXP Solid.
Yeah.
And then Ling, that's very happy with what he has.
Yes. And we're not
big
even
trouble.
we're not even in the mid game.
Not even.
We're not even in the mid game, Wolf here. So, especially we have a Selena and Ling that flourishes down for the early game. All that is needed is 1 kill there. But yeah, let us see. There is, of course, an adjustment from Execration. Playing quite safe, but the pressure is really heavy. Not on NXP. Chakno stays into the mid. Chakno will fall down. That is for sure. Blade of Tempest gets casted. Of course, makes it awkward for members of Execration to rescue Chakno.
Yeah. And it's going to be harder and harder now for Execration. I'm looking at a little bit of timing in their part. Maybe they get the items up, but it seems like it's not going to happen now.
Yeah, that was a good answer there. Coming in from Hate down for the dive of Chester. The turtle still going to be secured here by H2. It is secured down by the Retribution. We got MB here, becomes a gate. And EXE trades in 3 just so... NXP trades in 3 just so they can secure the turtle.
So that is good for my Execration. I like how Hate identified that it is time for him to pounce. NXP Solid, they felt overly confident in there, and I cannot blame them for it.
Yeah.
They know that they are ahead. And unfortunately, NXP Solid, they are trying to hit a lot of birds with just 1 stone, and that is the turtle and winning the fight.
Yeah, winning the fight,
they can only get 1.
1, yeah. And that's the turtle.
Indeed, the turtle, not a bird.
Didn't win the fight, ladies and gentlemen. But still, the main headline of this lineup is a Ling, look at the damage now being dealt by the Ling. That's around 500 already, a 471 down on the crits. Yeah. And still, like you mentioned earlier, Wolf, no easy catch for the Ling.
H2O, this is still his game. It's going to be up to him and how he manages his energy, and that might be the only thing that will set him up for a bad game in this game number 2 that we have. Even the arrows are falling in for Chester, and that's how you know that that you're reining in. And here's the thing, right? It's Selena is more like you wake up one day, you're a good Selena player. Though you wake up another, it's a bad day for you.
Yeah.
It seems like Chester, it's a good day for Selena.
It's a good day for Chester right now. He will feel very confident. There's a lot of vision.
Yeah.
There's a lot of vision provided by H2, by Yahweh there.
Yeah, exactly.
And without any tanks, every arrow is so rewarding. Every arrow is so rewarding right now. Like whoever receives the arrow there, even the Tams will be punished heavily. They got H2 here dancing around. He got a ledge just so he can pinch poise out. And now you got Yawi secured by bagged by Hate, Soul of Lava, lots of damage delivered against the shell of the turtle. MB will be the next victim here by EXE. That is a clear win there by EXE. Nice pick up there.
You see how NXP Solid dealt with it. They said, okay, there was our 2 supports, or at least the supporting crew. It was MB as a core, but we can trade for map control when we lose 2 members, and they know that they only have to last long enough for them to have the upper hand.
Very interesting pathing there by H2. Actually, did forward, went onto the side with the Blade of Tempest. That was a good catch though by Rene J.
Yeah.
Onto Zapnu. It seems that the Thams here might not anymore be any factor against NXP. Rene J dancing around. Actually, both 2 teams are dancing around this turtle.
Yeah.
And no one wants to start.
That's a very important kill coming out from Rene J. Really establishes his pressure onto the side lanes. That's one thing that NXP Solid needs to be doing now, is to push the turrets. And I like the fact that they're killing from the side lanes. And they're not really fighting head-on against Execration.
Because this is officially the mid game.
That's right.
And this is a nice opportunity for Execration. Because the mid game is starting, lanes are starting to converge. They could take on 4v4 or 5v5 team fights. And it might be a nice turnaround for Execration. But look at that, because even though the lanes are converging, that means a more field is gained in favor of NXP, including the field, or the so to speak, the river for the turtle here. Easy turtle for H2.
Oh man, real estate management from NXP Solid by pushing against Execration and Chester. Because of the lead that they have, they can play like this, but unfortunately it will be duly punished by Itomax and Chakno. But that's ultimate.
Oh, Execration is willing to fight that. They have no ultimate. Onto Itomax, they will lose this one. They have no ultimate, by the way, onto Chakno. So yeah, at least they fall back.
Yeah.
You can actually see NXP trying to bait in for a fight here.
No, that's actually very smart from NXP. I thought that any other player, even us included, will definitely clash against Execution.
Oh, yeah, yes.
NXP Solid as well as H2O, they said, okay, we don't really need kills at this point. We need to clear the waves and conserve our turrets as much as possible. And that's what they're doing. They aren't letting Execution to push. They're giving away kills on supports, and as long as they are support kills, it's okay for NXP Solid.
Yeah. All right.
The trade
These
for Benny
are
Cutie,
kind of
though.
unnecessary here. They're kind of, totally underestimating the damage and pick-up capacity of Ling sitting at level 13 right now with your team. Well, you get hit on the level 13 as well.
So
But team fights will save Execration. That's all I can see here right now.
especially now, I guess the term now that Execution need to do is to learn is urgency. Their path to forcing a game number 3 will depend on them ending this game in quite a few minutes from now, snowballing against NXP Solid. Because if they hedge their bets against the Ling in the late game with the Cho as well as the Selena in there, I don't think that it will end well for them. Again, no tanks for the side of Execution, and they also put Oracle on. That's Oracle now on the Khalid. While it is tanky against Magic, it's not gonna help him survive against the physical damage output of the Gadokacha, the Cho, as well as the.
Well, the thing here is, I think the Oracle pick is more of not really like a counter item, but like a staple item onto the Khalid because
Maybe.
the Oracle
support.
improved regeneration.
Yeah.
Scales really well with the regeneration of the Khalid. But here's one thing. I'm accounting for the inhibitor turret push of NXP. It's not that easy. They have the marksman. They need to have the Ling within the range. I think if Execration, Execration should realize while playing right now that one of the core objectives here would be vision control, starting for the Lord.
Yeah.
Because Lord would be a heavy win condition for NXP in closing at this game. I really don't think that they can easily push an inhibitor turret without the Lord because they have no marksman. It's not a Yi Sun-shin.
Yeah.
It is a Ling. He needs to go down before he can hit the turret.
That's also true. And if you're looking at the wave clear potential of NXP, that's probably their weakest point. There's not much wave clear on their part.
Yes.
In fact, they will need to commit heavily on the lanes themselves. And that might be something of an opening for NXP Solid. Maybe if they realize, okay, Execution cannot defend... Execution can win if NXP Solid is always in front of the Lords of your... And that might be the opening for Execution if they do want to force game number 3. I'm still sticking to what I'm noticing on the game. It's still very crucial for Execution to win in the next coming minutes. And maybe their deadline, their absolute deadline, is the First Lord.
Is the First Lord. Yeah, we'll get it here. First Lord will come in at 5-second timer. Ladies and gentlemen, 8-7. With a 1K gold lead, honestly, in NXP Solid. I kind of feel that NXP is being too careful right now.
Yeah.
They're being reactive against Execration. Maybe really wanting to get that layered team fight that will ultimately result to the biggest win of this match. Because so far, they're not as aggressive as they are back in the laning phase. All right.
They're forcing the second skill of Chakno, but Chakno is going to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Just hides his teammates. It's the Arrow and the Roger, though. Are they going to fight this, Shinbu?
Oh, look at that. Even Arrow on the Roger.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to be committing it. Probably they need the traps onto the Roger. They need the maximum damage onto Chester. I did saw the Arrow, no traps on that part.
Yeah,
right?
so it doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah.
But they will settle for the low-hanging fruit, which is Zapnu. And definitely going to be able to kill him down.
That's the problem, though. Side lane foundation is a bit weak right now for Execration here. Heavy pickups being done by Renegade and H2. And these are very, very fast heroes. You know, H.O. and Ling.
Can see now that the priority for NXP Solid is just to make sure that they are maintaining the game. It's not about winning.
They are.
At the point. It's all about maintaining because they know that maintaining pressure is their key to victory.
Yeah, they are. What they want is to reset the top lane side. There's pressure onto the top lane side. They will try to observe how Execration will respond down for the mid lane. And they can start the Lord. That hurts, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Yaoi under the turret. Big mistake there. That is a big mistake. Nice jump by Hate. But of course, NXP didn't avail. MB here onto the side. Maybe he can catch someone. There's gonna be the arrow onto Etamax. Hate once again into the front line. MB showed himself. And now Hate is targeting Chester. Hate falls back. Benny Cutie onto the side. Renegade.
Oh, it's just
Everyone is just careful.
yeah. That's it's weird from NXP that they are either incredibly safe
Yeah.
or incredibly aggressive. And
yeah.
that's exactly what happened with Yahweh. It's a flip of the switch. I guess he's like a raging bull against a red cape,
Under
and he
the
saw
turret,
it's
right?
okay. I want to kill the Chak guy, and the Kali just regen up. And we were kind of talking about the Oracle, and that's Oracle for you. That's why we pick up the Oracle, the tank Khalid.
Yeah. On the idea of Oracle
Dominance
mixes
eyes.
well on the concept of desert, right? In terms of like fictional lore.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we'll see. Right now, we get the Enhanced Lord on.
Yeah.
Side lane pressure established by Execration. Not so much. Is this Zapnu again? Round 2 onto Zapnu. He did cast the counter in Farna quite a bit late. H2, Blade of Tempest is gone. Hate may chase this one.
Oh,
but he
no.
gets greeted by Renegade in kill range. That's gonna be Yawi committing a kill against H2, who's secured there by Etomax, ladies and gentlemen. Get MP onto the side. Benny Cutie dealing up with Yawi, soaking up a lot of damage when the Tortoise percent is still up. Chaknu has a lot of regeneration to actually sustain that. And I think they will fall back. Yeah.
Okay, what a nice snag on H2O. It's H2O baiting and then Execution counter baiting, but look at the damage from Renegade. He's saying,
Man.
it's my time now.
Everyone is setting up death brushes.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the death brush.
It's all about the death brushes. We have a very... I mean, I would still believe, in terms of composition, this is NXP.
Yeah.
You know, they have a very, very stable composition. But the way they're playing here right now,
It's weird.
trying to bait out skills,
Yeah.
right? Trying to
It's-
bait out skills.
It seems like at some point they know the strength of their lineup, but sometimes they don't, and they just run over Execration. And now Execration wants to punish them for it.
I just realized it might be Benny Cutie. The key to victory here for the members of Execration is putting up a lot of pressure here. No ultimate onto Benny Cutie, but still not going to be the target there. Renegade chasing down Hate. Hate will be gone. Went for the final pounce. It is going to be H2 also saying goodbye. Benny Cutie is gone. There's going to be Chaknu. Etomax joins the fight. Zapnu is still alive. Renegade walks away. Did receive the first kill from Etomax, but it's still not going to be enough to get a kill onto him. That's Benny Cutie re-engaging. And look at that. This is the Alice I'm talking about. Might be the ray of hope here for Execration. He went for his own stick as he walks away. Etomax also actually not giving way for this minion wave on the mid.
And all of that jazz, it only went down to 2 kills apiece. Well, Renegade, however, very nice positioning. I like that he did not commit his Way of the Dragon on the Roger and waited for the kill onto the Chaknu afterwards. And that's amazing control of this Cho. You would really love to see NXP Solid take over with H2O on the driver's seat. However, he's getting punished as well from Execration. It's going to be difficult for him, honestly.
I'm starting to get a feel or a vibe that we have this game is... I mean, NXP is a very stable comp, right? We keep on saying that. And Zamnu is still falling on this Thams. But this might be anybody's game. Just the way the team fights turn out, right?
Yeah.
I get Chaknu here. Will he regenerate? He will be able to regenerate. Ladies and gentlemen, must be able to walk away. Lots of spells thrown here by NXP. Yawi's melted. No one is able to deal up with Benny Cutie. And look at Benny Cutie, how he counters Renegade after the first kill. This opens up a lot of space for Hate trading with H2. It's not HT. It's still H2 getting the kill here. Now focus on to Zapnu. Benny Cutie dancing around with Renegade, getting the attention of Execration. And Etomax receives the kit. Very beautiful save there from the Way of the Dragon. Just so he can make the kill when it matters. Takes 2 in exchange for 1. Now they're gonna be securing the Luminous Lord on the side of NXP.
Or will they? Shinbo Execration wants to fight this in the classic Execration fashion. They will fight. Fight and fight and fight. Contest until you die. That's Execration, man.
Yeah, that's Execration. I mean, I really believe they won't easily give out this Lord. They got Chaknu dancing around. Ultimate is still available. Raging Sandstorm from Execration. Arrow will miss its mark. That's gonna be Benny Cutie. He won't be swapping out. Countered though by MB Stomp. It won't be as the security here sides from the sides for NXP.
And Thams. This is Zapnu identifying we will not be able to get that Lord anyway, so I'll just push in the middle, in the bottom lane. And in the middle is a little bit pushed already for Execution. That was a trade-off of a turret for the Lord, for the Luminous Lord. And this is
This is
not the
dangerous.
best for
Yeah,
Execration.
not the best for
Dangerous,
them.
right?
Yeah, very
But-
dangerous. Look at the side lanes they're pushing.
Exactly.
And I characterize Execration as a team who really crumbles under a Lord. Was very close. Etamax burns his flicker.
It's really, really close now.
Look at Renegade.
And Renegade is also trying to
my
play
God.
aggressive at this
Yeah.
moment. He knows that he can eliminate anyone at this point.
Yeah.
He has high and dry. And even Zapno might be taken out by Renegade.
Oh my God.
And I guess at this point, you need Queen's Wings massively on
Yeah,
Execration.
yes. And at this point, NXP might start to trade in Malefic Roars. But
Okay.
let's see. They're going to be clearing this Lord easily. Zapno stays there. Gets poked down by
H2.
H2 on 3/4 health. Nice defense there by Execration. Fully completed on that part.
Yeah, so here's the thing with NXP Solid. They don't have the best sieging
Yes, we mentioned earlier,
heroes.
right?
We were mentioning this.
Yes.
And you kind of need more. And Execration,
Yeah.
they can depend on that. As long as they are not getting wiped out completely by NXP, they're okay.
Honestly, they could have utilized the Lord with the Avatar of Guardian. I'm very curious why
Yeah.
they didn't use that, right?
They're waiting for items, I think.
Probably, yeah.
And they know that they have the superior late game. And
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
this
they're
is still
biding
good.
their
This is
time.
still some breathing room for Execration.
yeah.
But I really feel that NXP can get an inhibitor at least, especially with the kit that they have. Just using the Avatar of Guardian. Because if they get the Link to come in first, it won't be a nice news here for NXP. Execration here, willing to trade. Chakno takes into the front line. Will have to fall back. Has his immortality on. Full regeneration. Benecuting once again. Goes for the back line. Tags in Chester. Chester onto the side. There's the brush. Misses the arrow. Ladies and gentlemen, and I think that would be it. Both teams may start to break out. Chakno still stays in the front line. Renegade. They're trying to guess where Renegade is. That's gonna be it. He will be showing himself. Gets the job. Down onto Hate. That's under turret. Dive followed up by H2. Still Renegade fails the mission. Now they want to target H2. Like and
man.
Pouch completed. Whereas Benecutie zones out the rest of the members here of NXP. They're gonna chase down. There's gonna be the stun onto MB. And now Yawi for the side. They have no firepower really to melt these tanks, but it doesn't matter. That's a win there. That's a clear win there by Execration in the mid.
And then NXP Solid, they really badly want to layer their skills like a cake, but instead they went in very bad spots. And H2 was still alive. This
Yeah.
could be... They could defend this.
Yeah. They can defend this. That's under turret. But it's Chakno getting the turret hit. And look at Execration. They're willing to take the turret. They really want to close this. And of course, you get H2 as well. Bad blood again, ladies and gentlemen.
H2O showing us.
They want to finish the inhibitor turret without any minion. That's how much they want to get an advantage.
That's how bad the blood is.
Yeah.
That's how thick this bad blood is, man. They are willing to really dive in. Here's what I was going to talk about. They want to layer it like a cake, but instead, they got a Venn diagram of skills that did not hit together in good synchronization. And you kind of feel what they're doing. There's the Way of the Dragon to isolate the core, and then the Avatar of the Guardian that they want to go for the backlash just to stop them from supporting the core. It's very smart from NXP. Unfortunately, it wasn't perfect when it comes to execution.
Oh my God.
And execution duly punished them for it.
Yeah, and we are clearly into the late game. You know, items to plateau, 20-minute mark for this running game. Inhibitor turret might be easily pushed. There is the artillery minion.
is it?
But what Chester is doing is actually making sure that there is an arrow consistently hitting in the mid. And Renegade is, classic always with this rotation. Whenever someone is pushing under their base, just hovering out to the side.
However,
was able to connection to Zapno. Zapno here is dead.
Zapno is very close to dying at this point, sustaining. And Renegade says, your time is up, my time is now.
Yeah, they're focusing on Yawi. That is the main tank. Arrow down onto Hate.
No!
Okay. Once onto the wolf form, exchange that. A gate is formed. Immortality still on. Pops onto Etomax. MB staying there. Chaknu also. Benecutie is not here. And I think that's it. NXP reads on. Benecutie is the win condition for the side of Execration. And Renegade got the attention of that. That's it. That's the rest of the members of Execration getting clapped out by NXP one by one. What will happen here is a push in the mid. But still, Etomax still alive. Benecutie joins the party. He is the ray of hope for Execration here. Big playmaker. Switch in for his first kill. And now Etomax follows through. Receives the arrow from Chester. And also we got Chaknu soaking up a lot of damage. A very interesting Avatar of Guardian just for the back line. But it doesn't matter. Renegade knows the objective. Gonna be securing down for the mid. And that's it. It's Renegade saying goodbye. Chaknu also is gone. Benecutie once again on the first one. Chase on to Chester. Benecutie is forever.
Benecutie is forever, man.
Man, it's not. I think there's no one who can really kill Benecutie anymore.
Oh dear, I thought that was a good play already for NXP Solid, but
Yeah.
Execration on the back of Benecutie, the player that we're hyping out
Yeah.
earlier,
Look at
hyping up
Benecutie.
earlier.
Look, very good.
And Benecutie, the third straight kill with the sticker on.
Oh, Alice, man.
Alice
Yeah, I
is
think
here to stay.
Yeah, Alice is here to stay. That might be it. That might be it for this game. I mean, I'm not saying Execration will surely win, but this is the biggest lesson on the lineup of Execration.
Yeah. Now, big wave of minions onto the bottom means that they will be able to push. Now, in the middle part of the map, we can see that the Roger is already working on the Lord very,
Yeah.
very slowly.
And here's the thing. Between the two cores, Roger is more durable than the Ling.
When it comes
That's
to just
the
the
thing.
raw
Yeah.
survivability of
Survivability, yeah.
both heroes. And I like the timing of how Execration won that specific skirmish, because it also meant that they can pressure the Lord area, force NXP Solid
Yeah.
to either fight them under that area or be secluded against each other.
Yeah.
Or even just the middle.
Hate is just focusing on the Lord. He got this brute force breastplate on. Goes onto the melee. There's gonna be Yawi. They have an idea. NXP. Lord is on reset. Ren. J. Okay, he's going for the split. H2 as well.
Okay.
Alright. NXP is starting to send a message that, you know what, we don't want to take 5v5
Yeah.
fights.
And Benecutie, oh what? No way!
Bye-bye.
I was literally going to commend him for what he is doing, and he was
got the arrow to
magnetized to
Chester.
the
Yeah,
arrow.
yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, Selena, as we describe her, is really good at guessing. Hope we can guess. That's, you know, in Tagalog, sana makahula.
Oh,
and that's
man.
what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Members of Execration, they're falling out of their own formation. They got hit here, focusing on the Chester. Of course, do not expect that H2 will ignore that. H2 will be coming in. Hate has to
No
walk around.
energy.
Etomax also getting some attention here onto the NXP side, but they have to fall back. There is the minion wave pushing in the mid. Zapno also joins the party, trades up with MB, and I think that's it.
And there's no energy for H2O. That's why he didn't fight after the Roger went onto him. Would really be scary for Execration, but I guess Hate says, okay, he doesn't have energy, maybe I can fight now. But this time, it's not the best decision. Nice dodge, however, but he will not survive against 3 members of NXP Solid.
Oh,
Get back to where you came from, Hate.
This is why I keep on saying it's so hard to become an Execration fan. They always fight this.
Heartbreak. It's always heartbreak after heartbreak.
They always fight these very close games. And you know, someone get caught up to position. And it is, those are great games, really. And you know what happens here? NXP Solid, they know they have a window.
Yeah.
Benecutie has a 30.
Yeah.
Second timer here. And Benecutie is doing a lot for Execration right now.
Man, I came from the future. The future says...
Oh no, hate is on the timer.
90% of Execration fans have developed cardiac problems in the future, just of how Execration toys with their emotions.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you think there is a setup for the comeback, one member gets picked up on a side lane. So easy. Very, very easy.
It's never scientific when you're looking at Execration.
Yeah.
It's always just emotions.
Yes. All right, let's see here. Renege is not as durable, receiving a lot of damage here from Benecutie and Etomax. There's going to be the full fight all in onto the Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, let us see. Abraham Kaiser will be the one who will slay on the Lord. That's a big slam dunk. There for the side of NXP. I'm losing breath here. Onto the side again. H2 focusing. Side lane is pushing. You got Chester falling back. This is Execration's win. But that might be enough minion wave to get the kill down for the bot. There is the push completed. And now H2's delaying everyone. He will join the party. Remember that Hate is gone here. No more carry for the side of Exe. And now also not going to be in reach of Benecutie here for his first kill. Chester flickers out. Everyone is going God mode here. Renege goes for split. And Zapno is defending here. Benecutie also tries to respond. This might be at least a good defense here for Execration. But H2 setting up me for the mid.
Oh, H2O, what a nice snag in there. Going in, baiting on the members out, picking up a blade, and then executing it. E2Max in there. Even with E2Max playing such a good Valier play, always readying up the searing turret against H2O, H2O still manages to win that fight for NXP Solid. But it wasn't a clear victory.
Yeah, not a clear victory. And H2.
Oh, what a
he will
play,
be
though.
ignoring Chaknu. You know the late game Ling. It's actually split push Ling.
Oh,
it's very
that's
threatening
right.
actually on the side lanes. That's the thing about Ling.
And you also have that split pushing Renegade.
Yeah.
And making it hard for execution. Now, it's true that the split push play is such a classic that you try to outsmart your opponents and have them running around the map, and the execution can really fall for that. However, sometimes you get over your head and you over split push. That's also a thing. Split pushing can also make you overestimate your own strength, and many times in this game, from the 20-minute mark until the 27-minute mark, you kind of feel that NXP Solid, the way that they're trying to split push, is also them splitting their own team fight and sacrificing their team fight integrity. And it's happening time and time again. But at least in the skirmishes that do matter, specifically the last one, they won it.
And look at that. Because of the side lanes are now considered free lanes here for NXP, they know they can play this all mid mode. And Renegade
There it
can
is.
pick up.
Overestimating your bounds, man.
Yeah. He's crossing borders there. And if they get wiped out in the mid, this is still execution. They can go all in for the mid here. And MB, of course, got an Avatar of Guardian just to walk away. And still Chester. The Selena Arrow, always a problem down for the mid game. You know the problem about Selena Arrow? There's very little anti-crowd control items available. Just so you can make sure that the Selena Arrow is a non-factor. That's the problem. Oh! Wow! So explosive. Very cutie.
He knows. Okay, they're trying to make a case now in the middle.
Yeah.
Can they do
Zapnu's
it?
not here, huh?
Look
Zapnu's
at
not here.
MB.
He's defending. Okay. They're willing to take the fight 4v4 into the base. MB here is
MB,
destroyed. Not giving any breathing room for H2. He went for the side. H2 knows what's up. You know, let's not fight. We're gonna go for the cut.
Okay.
You know?
H2 says
This is not German cut. That is Brazilian cut, ladies and gentlemen.
Brazilian.
That's already the Brazilian cut.
Yep. Like everything is just clean shaved now.
Yes. Well, see,
Clean.
ladies and gentlemen.
Hashtag shave the day, man.
Hashtag shave the day. Hashtag shave the day.
Look at this, man. This is probably the closest we can get. Like,
Yeah.
It's 28 minutes in and nobody's leading when it comes to the gold.
Wow, look at H2. He was able to secure the purple buff, but no more escaping for
that
H2.
hurts.
One last spell there, but of course, it won't be Benecutie that is guessing where the position of H2 might be. Renegade is still hiding around.
The thing with Mobile Legends is that if you get those ever-scaling heroes like the Alice, the Clock of Destiny, as well as the passive, one misstep from a core, from a carry, even as squishy as H2O is, without the magic resistance, he melts.
My question, by the way, is there any cap on the scaling of Alice?
I think there's no cap.
Oh my god.
If I'm not mistaken. In terms of the damage output, when it comes to the cooldowns, there's a cap on those cooldowns.
yes, of
but
course,
when it
of
comes to the AP that you get from it, I think that it's ever scaling. I mean, the general idea of mages nowadays, it's just that it's just inflated when it comes to the Alice as compared to like a Selena. Because Selena can still scale infinitesimally speaking, but not as inflated as Alice can do when it comes to just raw damage.
Yeah. I want to describe the situation right now for these two teams. Execration, they have to leave Zapno on two side lanes defensively. They will start taking fights 4v5 even. Right now, NXP, they know that they can still start losing team fights, even for V5 once, but they have a very, very strong side lane pressure. They have a very, very strong split push capacity. They're all in onto Zapnu.
Benecutie knows what a punish if they are able to close this one out, but Renegade is not. Is gonna hold his ground, I mean.
And magic resistance are building up onto the side of NXP.
Oh, there it is. Chakno gonna be caught now.
Yeah, he got his regeneration on. Alright, still has his immortality. Focuses on to Yawi. Hey, tries to get the timing down. Actually, what you really need is to catch H2. H2 pokes into the side. Very ballsy plays from H2.
In comes the Avatar of the Guardian, not gonna hit on anyone, and the Renegade wants to fight the Alice.
No more ultimate onto Benecutie. They want to focus on the Benecutie. NXP shows. Actually, Renegade gets destroyed, but H2 still tries to get a timing. Was able to pop off the immortality against Etomax. Benecutie is still alive. Ladies and gentlemen, Yawi might be the one that won't survive. And that's two members gone already for NXP. Next one would be MB. This might be it for EXE. Remember, they are pushing for the mid. They have an inhibitor turret advantage in the mid. But I think that's it. They're gonna go for the Lord. All right.
In this game, I'm gonna call Benecutie Big Brain Benny.
All right.
That was So smart, the string of plays. Okay, from the top lane when they defended against Renegade,
All right.
to the point where they pushed back the Gadokacha in the middle, and then he forced H2O to use the Tempest of Blades against him to hit nothing but air, and H2O all of a sudden doesn't have impact in the team fights. Big brain Benny, man.
Big brain Benny. And, Benny Kid is just dancing around. He's actually waiting for H2 here. H2
MB.
hopefully trying to decide. Chester here will be caught. Next one on to MB. That's Shaklu focusing onto the Lord. You get H2 dancing around. Chakma did saw him. They are now here. Hades also dancing around. 3 members of NXP still gone, and the pressure established on the mid. H2, he needs to make a game-changing play here. He dances around. He is going to gamble. He has the retribution on. If H2 gets caught at that, it for NXP. And the Lord is gonna be on the side of EXE. The gamble is lost. NXP here loses their carry. Oh my god.
Mistakes were made.
I mean, that's a gamble.
That is
a gamble. The gamble is lost.
The gamble has been lost. I mean, if he was able to get the Lord, we would. I'm sure that we're gonna say that was a big brain play. But
Yes.
But if not, it's a mistake. And that's the nature of a gamble. And now Execration are definitely stronger when it comes to the full team fight.
Yes. Here's the thing. We have the Lord walking in the
Malefic
mid.
Roar,
Yaoi
man.
is doing what he can to stall. You know why? Because they want to buy some timers for H2.
And H2O this is quite a long respawn timing. 15
14
seconds, man.
13.
They might lose this.
Yeah, we got 10 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, it all
No
goes down to the
wave
wave
clear,
clear. 8 seconds on the H2.
Where's the wave from NXP Solid? It's non-existent at this
5
point,
seconds
man.
on the H2. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord is focusing. The third is focusing onto the Lord. That's going to be Yaoi saying goodbye. No minion wave still in the mid, but they were able to secure at least a bottom lane inhib.
And that's the top lane also in trouble now for NXP Solid. They might be too late to defend this, and they won't. They can't. They don't have the wave clear, Shinbu.
Oh my god, that's very good. He stays in the mid. H2 burns his Blade of Tempest, and that's it. That's gonna be the Avatar of Gurjan just to walk away. It doesn't matter, eh? As the members of EXE, they can easily focus onto the base, and that's it. We have a game 3 as EXE takes the victory.
And through adversity, Execration will win it. They don't have the right to do so, but Big Brain Benny
Oh my god.
the doctor is in, man.
Indeed. Indeed.
He fixed everything that's broken for Execration. The wave clear aspect, the fact that the team fights are always lost, the ever so scaling AP damage coming out from Execration made it sure that the lack of defenses, the side of Next Play Solid is there. It's all about offense now. I mean, when it comes to the overall siege, there's not much when it comes to NXP Solid. They don't have the best wave clear. In fact, they have 0 wave clear compared to what Execration has, and it only took a lot of time for Execration. It was a long time for sure. It was a long wait for Execration, but boy oh boy, did they manage to win it when it mattered the most.
When it mattered the most. That was a very good game. That was not just a good game. That was a great game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great gambles, great attempts. It's it's all heart.
It's all hard.
It's all heart there.
And you can see that the lack of, I mean, for the side of NXP Solid, they were taking this in a methodical way, and they're trying to make it, they're trying to tame themselves and try to take it in the disciplined way. But Execration says, no, this is a brawl.
This is a brawl.
This is
personal.
This is personal.
This is personal, you know?
And the bigger heart wins.
You know, and the bigger heart wins. Crazy. And we are very lucky because we have a game 3.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh my god. I hope we have a
Stonks, man.
Viewership will totally blow up for this game number 2. Let's see the insights coming in from Butters.
Masaya si Ginoong Valdez sa lahat ng nangyari. We are gonna go to a game number 3, NXP versus Execration. At kung yung unang sapak ay nanggaling sa NXP, hindi hahayaan na Execration na maka 2-0 lang dito. Ang NXP, babawi sila ng suntok na sarili nila, and this is going to be our topic for this segment. What really happened there? Paano ba nawala ng NXP Solid yung kanilang lamang in the first place? First, you have to look at the idea dito kung paano gumalaw etong si Renegade and si H2O. Kung paano nila shutdown dito, etong si Zapnu. Zapnu didn't really have the greatest game nung una. He was forced to go for a Demon Hunter sword para mapil kahit papano dito yung mga tank heroes na nasa side ng NXP. Meron silang, sabihin natin, meron silang Gatot, meron silang Baksha. So that really covered a lot of the damage capabilities na meron dito yung Execration. And keep in mind, Benny Cutie, kailangan din niya mag-scale into the late game, and that's what really happened. Kung nakikita niyo, may Clock of Destiny din siya. So it was scaling na iniisip dito gawin ng Execration. So, one of the things na mapapansin niyo dito, ladies and gentlemen, is etong si Chaknu, hindi usually talaga ginagamit etong si Khalid to be, you know, one of the tanks na meron tayo dito sa MPL. But the thing is, hindi kasi ganun kalawak yung pool ng tanks natin dito. Even though the high loss is there, may mga times talaga na mas magiging beneficial na kumuha ka ng mga ganitong tanks. This is a trend na sabihin na natin ginagawa din sa ibang MPL countries. So this is going to be a really great talking point to delve into. Mamaya papakita natin yung highlights in a bit. But right now, let's head on to the post-match data. Eto Max dito really did a lot of things para sa team niya. He really controlled etong mga kalaban. He stopped the people dito from NXP from doing whatever the hell they want. Ang kailangan natin pasinin kasi dito sa NXP is kung paano naging sobrang ganda nung kanilang positioning. H2O and Renny J, lagi silang magkasama. Lagi nilang pinupuntahan dito si Zapnu. At kapag si Zapnu naman, hindi niya nakikita kung saan nanggagaling yung mga teammates niya, that's the time where they go in and they punish him heavily. And eto this is actually a bit counterintuitive, pero kung iisipin mo, one of the things na sinabi ng isa sa mga pro players dati ng mga MOBA games is, what do you do kapag medyo na nagkalamang yung ibang kalaban? Ang sagot niya is, hayaan mo lang makabawi na sarili yung lane. And that's what they did. Hinayaan nila ni Zapnu na kumuha ng sarili niyang gold. Hinayaan siya doon. And if ever yung pressure nasa kanya talaga, hindi na nila dinivide papunta doon sa ibang mga teammates. And that led Execration into getting kung ano man yung nakuha nila dito. Looking at the turtle, wala ni isang nakuha dito yung Execration na turtle. That's the thing. Wala rin talaga kasi silang retribution dito. So you can't really say na priority ng Execration yon in the first place. But in terms of the Lord, mas madami nakuha yung NXP dito. Execration, on the other hand, got what mattered the most. The last Lord na bumasag dito sa base ng NXP Solid, and it marched on dun sa base nila, and that literally got them the win. Chester dito, I would really like to commend his playstyle kung paano niya sinuportahan yung team niya. The thing is, lahat ng vision, lahat ng posisyon, lahat ng information na pwede niya makuha dito onto the side of Execration na bigay niya sa mga teammates niya. Although it didn't pay off in the end, but still, both of the teams dito showing us why they are the most favorite and why they are the most hyped team dito sa MPL PH. Let's head on to our highlights of the game. Kung papansinin nyo dito, ano nga ba yung pinaka-importanteng gagawin ng Execration para manalo? What is their checklist? Lagyan natin ng 4 na square dyan para cool. Hindi, joke lang. Check natin yan. They have to scale. Scaling is the thing. Nagawa ba nila to? Yes, it became a 20-minute plus game. It happened for them. Ano yung kailangan nilang answerin dito? Yung tankiness nung kabila, the sustain ng side ng NXP Solid. They answered that. They got the items for it. Even though hindi nila masyado sabihin dito, binigyan ng emphasis yun into the early game. They got what they wanted and they did great. Napil nila yung kalaban. And yung pinakahuli dito is yung Lord. That match was really set up for the last Lord fight. They couldn't really end it nung na magkabilang side, sabihin na natin. But the thing was, kahit may retribution dito yung NXP Solid, you have to take notice na nung pinakahuling fight, Execration got the position sa lahat ng binato doon ng side ng NXP Solid sa kanila, nakabawi sila, nakapag-setup sila, and even H2O couldn't really do anything. And nakita niyo naman yung sobrang taas na contest na pinakita ni H2O doon. He went in, he knew that he had the damage, he had the retribution. Hinuhold pa nga yun ni Chaknu ng matagal kasi ayaw niyang makuha lang yun basta-basta. Eto, this certain part, ang call niya dito is for them to actually collapse on H2O here kasi ang sinasabi nilang nila dito, more heroes means more chances of winning. MVP of the game, Benny Cutie. Scaled Alice dito, not really a hot commodity pagdating dito sa MPLPH, but right now, pinakita sa inyo ni Benny Cutie kung ano ba yung mga pwede niyang gawin. And looking at it, Winter Truncheon, Queen's Wings, Lightning Truncheon, Clock of Destiny, you name it, he got it. And look at the damage received. A whopping almost 200,000 damage output or damage received na nanggaling sa kanya. He really sustained through a lot and he did really well in this game. Kakaiba ang posisyon dito ni Benny Cutie. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question right now is, sino ang makakuha netong game number 3? Pero bago tayo sumugod dyan, meron tayong giveaway codes dito na nasa baba. Ayan. Kunin nyo na yan. It will help you dun sa mga laban nyo sa Land of Dawn. At dahil madaming sumali sa ating Mythical Raffle Draw, we do have another giveaway code na ibibigay sa inyo. With this one, meron po 20,441 people na sumali. So, malamang sa malamang, isa ka doon. So, ladies and gentlemen, hindi ko napapatagalin to. Let's head back to our casters. Kayo na muna bahala. Dalhin nyo kami dito sa storya ng kwentong to. Para mali ah.
Game number 3. You know what makes a good story? You know, a story always follows a format, right? There is the beginning, then there's the conflict,
rising action,
yeah,
the
and there's the resolution.
yes,
You know, we get game number 2. That is clearly
the climax.
the climax. But you know, part of the climax, we always want a heated game number 3.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, this is it.
You
This
know-
is the final game. This settles everything. This settles everything because we have a
Resolution.
1-1. You cannot easily say that NXP landed a 2-0 against EXE. You cannot easily say that EXE landed a 2-0 against NXP. It all comes down to this. One game, ladies and gentlemen. Just one game.
Oh man, we have officially broken a lot of records now when it
Yes.
comes to viewership, when it
Yes.
comes to the hype.
Yes.
And I like that we are granted
Yeah.
a game number 3 for it.
Yes.
No matter what happens,
Yeah.
if you're a fan of either NXP or Execration, thank your team.
And, you know, on this high-stakes match that we've seen, I'm very happy to see an MVP on an Alice.
Yeah.
On Benny Cutie on an Alice.
We went full circle now. This is season 1 all over again when Alice was the topic.
If we're accounting for the meta, Alice, those numbers are, you know, record-breaking. 192K.
192,000 damage.
received.
And
Imagine that.
to go with it, 160k damage dealt. And you're gonna have to ask, what was the impact of the Alice? And your mind will always tell you, Alice is a mage. It's early game, it's mid game,
Yeah.
blood. That's no closing it.
Yeah.
But in the realm of Mobile Legends, if you know your limits, if you know how impactful you can be, if you play it smart,
Yeah.
and you know the limits of your hero, you can be impactful in any part of the game. And obviously, Alice, he wasn't there for the closeout kills. He wasn't
Yeah.
there for the big team fights.
Yeah.
He was there for the purpose of taking down the important members of the team
Yes.
and dishing out the damage when it all mattered.
Yes. Making plays, surviving. He's transitioning into a secondary tank, actually. Well, most fighters kind of, in a
Yeah.
way. But the strength of the Alice in the late game is brushes are... Does the first skill provide vision?
Yes. I think when
Alice?
in brushes, when it hits the opponent.
When it hits the opponent.
Not actual vision.
Not actual vision, right? When it hits the opponent. So
That's right.
there is one. That's the best part about the Alice in the late game, or considering in the late game, because if you are already tanking enough, even if you don't dish out big damage, Alice does big damage, but the problem is it is spread over time.
Yeah.
You know, that's continuous damage. But even if you don't dish out big damage instantly, the idea of just being allowed to really sip through anyone,
Yeah.
you know, bypass anyone in a team fight, being a tank, that's already a very, very nice kit for someone whose role is to disrupt.
Yeah, and you know what? I was talking to a lot of carries, and I was asking them what are the main things that really bothers you as a carry. What stops you from being that hyper carry from your team? One is being stopped in the early game by being
Like a Digi?
by getting harassed. By getting harassed. But especially a Digi.
The Digi, right? Yes.
And in the late game,
honestly, the Digi is so irritating. The Digi pick is so irritating. But a lot of Curries would admit that they really don't want the Digi. Very disruptive, right?
because it's a lot for us, it's very irritating. It might not deal enough damage, but the fact that it's always in front of you, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And you know what's really scarier? When you do it in the late game. When you aren't that confident hiding in the bushes or hiding in the wall, says the Ling, you see that it's a problem. And this guy is shook as well as you are. And I think that this will be what we call the remake.
Yes, I think that is a remake. You don't put...
Yeah.
Alright, I think we got...
It's impossible.
Impossible indeed, you know. Eudora.
Okay. Anyway, it's equally irritating. In the late game, we cannot position yourself, and the BenQT provided the vision. It's all. You know what? In the late game, they always say, "Do not ever face check." But if you're an Alice like that, you have the license to do it.
No, you have the license to do it. You can just really dance around.
Yeah.
Alice by the late game, I would dare say, is all about managing cooldowns. Really, right?
Okay.
You have kind of shorter cooldowns. Because you have a lot of durability. You have a lot of regeneration. You have a lot of sustain. You have a lot of uptime. Anyway, getting back into the key points of this game, I actually want to observe what will be the adjustments of NXP here. They might really start looking into the late game. They might adjust the Yawi hero, right?
Maybe they want to go for those big ticket heroes. Yeah. But like the Kufra Atlas, right? But in game number 2, they were the ones who banned it out and they picked up the backshot for sure. So that's one thing that they should be considering now. Because I always feel that Yawi, when he is able to pop off, he's giving a lot of W's to next play solid. And what are the heroes that allow him to do that? It's Kufra, it's Atlas, your big ticket heroes. Also, I will not be surprised if he pulls up something so cheeky like the Kaja back in action, because Yawi is such a good Kaja player. His decision making with that hero is actually good.
Very, very interesting. I mean, you are studying the stats for Season 6, but you're mentioning stats for Season 5.
Season 5, that's right. And this is only me saying this because we are in the 10-ban system. There's a lot of things happening and everybody's just taking heroes away from each other. And when you're down the wire, you might go for your sucker punches, right? If your back is against the wall. The question is next play's backs actually against the wall after the game? Are we saying that if you lose a nail biter game 2, does that mean that you're on the back foot?
Yes, that's one. Actually, in terms of competitive psychology, it's very easy to understand, guys. Whoever wins the previous game has the momentum. A game that is hard fought takes a heavy toll on the losing side.
Right.
That is reflected on so many esports titles, on so many games, and there is a demand for that. You know what, we always mention it, the reset. There is a heavy demand for a reset onto the side of NXP. Remember that they got beaten on a Ling on H2. Yes, the Ling got nerfed, no problem. But H2's Ling earlier was a Ling that was allowed to puff up. It was a really good Ling. It was I would dare say it was a really good performing Ling. Chester on Selena, right? Yeah, you got Chester on Selena. So those are. It's like NXP on their strongest form, right?
I like that. I want to pick up on what you said. This is NXP's supposed big, good form already. Yeah. And the fact that they did not win it, that is gonna take a toll on their mindset. And couple that with the fact that they lost a crucial game, a nail biter game, which, like we said, teams will rather lose on a stomp instead of losing a close game.
Yeah, yes.
It's easy to recover from a stomp as compared to a very close game.
Yes, especially on that close game, because there's a lot of question, there's a lot of anxiety going on around. What went wrong? Because things are going wrong to the side of NXP. Zapnu is getting devoured onto the side lane. Even Chaknu is not as impactful on his Khalid. Really, it's all about. I mean, it's not all about BenQT, but BenQT, that's the only hero, or it's the only player that we've got really no questions on, right? And here's the thing. Let's leave that topic. Now let's go back onto Execration here. Maybe this is a very defining game for Execration. If you want to characterize this team, I cannot but feel that Execration is I'm not so sure if it's like Bruce Lee's description of water. You know, I'm thinking of form. Usually, I try to see teams and I try to observe their tendencies. I mean, you look into the stats. You base your prediction, you base your analysis onto the stats. That's also looking into tendencies. But, you know, sometimes you just watch a lot of games and you see the tendencies of the teams, right? The problem of execution, it's very confusing. It's very confusing. Like, one match, their drafting decision will go this way and go on the other way.
For execution.
And especially on this game, on game number 2.
Yeah.
You don't expect that kind of drafting from execution.
That's why we call them
true.
chaos.
Yeah,
right?
very chaotic team.
They're the team with the madness in them.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing. I think that execution, they're always feeding off of energies. Their energy should be channeled from execution. What I'm trying to tell you is that when somebody from execution pops off, all of a sudden, when there's a superstar trigger, whether it be from Hate, from Etumax, or from Benekute, this time from Chaco, there should be one superstar trigger.
Yeah, I see.
So game 1, there wasn't any.
Yes.
Game 2, all of a sudden, from darkness there was light from Benekute, right? And then all of a sudden everybody's playing good.
Yeah.
Imagine Zapdos, you mentioned Zapdos getting trampled in the side lanes, and Benekute all of a sudden triggers his there's a superstar trigger already from Benekute, and then all of a sudden, Zapdos remembers, I'm a good player. He almost all of a sudden just realizes that, man, I'm skilled at this game. Why aren't I picking up?
Maybe because that answers why Execution has a lot of fans. Because they play very dramatic. Like, you know, here's the thing about Execution. Execution will fight a heavy contending team, like a champion team. And your answer is, I don't know if Execution will win. But I'm not so sure if they will lose as well.
Yeah.
Then Execution will fight an underdog team. You know, a lower tier team, and you will still answer your case for Execution. I still don't know if they can win.
They can lose.
They can lose still. Like, it's very hard. I mean, let's base on the power rankings. Like, for example, Aura or Bren versus Blue Fire. Without doubt, you know, you can easily
put your bets on it.
You would put it on Bren.
Yeah.
You put Execration top of their group, then you take Blue Fire.
Yeah.
You have this running feeling
they can win, but they can also lose.
Yes. I'm actually not thinking of how Execration will win, but of how Execration will do it wrong.
Yeah.
Again.
You know, as I told you, studies say that in the future, a lot of Execration fans will have heart problems just because of how stressful it is to be a fan of Execration. Be it for the good, for the bad. When the highs are high, the lows are low.
No, you know, whatever happens here, there will be a lot of status updates later on.
Oh man, I can't wait to open up my Facebook. Man.
Yeah, this game number 3. It's very crazy. I kind of but feel that really I was predicting an XP.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking it might even be 2-0.
So
I'm really surprised here. I'm also worrying if I will lose my bet with Manjin here.
That's
game
chicken
number
tikka
3.
masala,
Yes,
man.
it's one of the best food I'm really anticipating. And the thing here is you cannot even predict what will be the next pick for game number 3 of Execration, because I really doubt that the Alice strategy will be pulled off again. It was an adjustment. It is clearly an adjustment from the Gatot Ketchup pick on the 4th pick. After the 4th pick, it was the last pick, right? The Alice.
And it's hard to predict as well. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can see from Execration, but then Execration says, okay, let's go back to our roots. Let's go to the Alice, and it works now. It worked before. It will work now.
Look at because of the hype of game number 2, I already forgot that Execration picked Lunox, Gatot Kacha,
and Estes.
and Estes, and Yisun Shin on game number 1. And you know, Execration will pop off on a game like this, game number 2, against a very stable comp.
Yeah.
and then you will see them rolling a Lunox with Estes.
Like I told you, it's
very
hard
crazy.
problems
It's very
are
crazy.
inbound. Hard problems are inbound.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I think that we have to also address the fact that this is a mind game. We already talked about you being more comfortable, having more momentum on your side of Execration. And you also have Zapnu, the veteran player for the team, and you can rally your team with that. Now, looking at next play, they're obviously devastated, but they have to rely on Chester. Is Chester veteran enough to rally his team and get back the motivation. Will YOLO, one of the best veterans, now playing as the role of the coaching role of the Next Play squad, will he be able to also motivate his team heading into game number 3? I think that's gonna be
let's start accounting possibilities because you know, we spent enough time on saying how hard it is really to read the execration. But one mix-up that NXP can do, they can have Gymnast play in. That could be one. It would be one big mystery because right now we clearly established, even NXP I think is starting to think this, it's very hard to read execration. But there's one thing that is constant on execration. I really feel that putting a proactive hero on Benny Cutie, you know, a very disruptive hero, especially for the late game, the likes of Cho, the likes of this time Alice, is very rewarding. I don't know what will be the hero of Benny Cutie. I'm really not guessing it will be an Alice again for game number 3. But I would really suggest to not put any farming heroes or a core hero onto Benny Cutie and put him on, you know, a disruptor role.
Now, taking that and transferring it to execration now, it's quite a reverse when we're talking about Zapnu. Are we going to put Zapnu in those
explosive heroes
or the quote-unquote Tito heroes or the uncle heroes?
Yes.
Right? Like the Thams.
The Thams,
Because here's the thing. While it's true that I want to see Zapnu play those explosive heroes, I think that for the benefit of execution, it's better he stays on those heroes like the Thams. The Thams is a hero that's not as explosive. It still requires a little bit of skill and a lot of smarts.
Yes.
Nevertheless, it allows Zapnu to be that quarterback for the team.
Yes.
Right? You need that floor general. As we've seen in basketball, you need that point guard for the team that can really like AFK look at other parts of the map and say, hey, you should be going in this frame, or while he is playing the times is clearing the waves, right? I think that's for the benefit of execution.
It's kind of Tito, meaning uncle. It's, you know, it's somewhat relating to old age. But when we were saying, it's saying that there are really some heroes that when you add contrast to it, like if you compare Ling to Thams, I mean, Ling is more mechanically demanding compared to the Thams. But there are, of course, some balancing onto the heroes, pros and cons for that part. But I would agree on that one. I have this term called they're easy heroes to really pull off. But it doesn't matter whether they're easy or not. If they're impactful, they're impactful.
Yes,
there are those kind of heroes, really. Impactful heroes that are easy to use. You get Chango, you get Thams. I would even dare say actually that Esmeralda is...
Esmeralda and Uranus falls in that category,
easy
honestly.
Hero, And look at this. Execration. Speaking of Esmeralda, Uranus, Execration has a first pick advantage. Look at that.
That's right. So they banned the Yuzong instead. And the
Esmeralda ban.
So this is Harith. Execration is really affected by that game number 1 loss against the Harith from NXP Solid. But again, this is a brawl, and we're talking about everybody just taking away.
And they're laughing. Look at Zap. Zap is laughing there. On the ban on the Alice.
Oh my, an instant ban on the Alice. But instant as it may go, there's the Farsa from Execration. Duly answered by NXP Solid with the Kufra. Are they gonna go Kufra Ling now?
Eto Max Farsa.
Okay.
Farsa is actually a top tier hero pick right now. In PH. I'm not so sure if the number 1 support right now is Selena or whether Farsa, because Selena always gets banned.
That's
but
right.
I really feel Farsa is... I mean, some are arguing that Farsa is the number 1 support right now.
That's right. I know, and I agree with them. And there it is, the Kufra Ling that we're talking about. Now Execration can answer this with their Cho or something that explodes, less explosive than Thams, perhaps. And there's the Atlas!
They're going for the Atlas.
Here we go.
Here we go. Chaknu Hero. Now online, Execration is taking on a better form. NXP, this is going to be it. MB or maybe Renergy. For the Khalid. Now they will start targeting the core hero of Execration. They might start eyeing onto Hate, but Zapnu's hero is still going to be available. They're going to be removing that uncle hero, Thams, ladies and gentlemen.
So now with the Atlas for Execration, it kind of reveals that this is absolutely side lane Cho. And it also makes
Benny
sense.
Cutie Cho, without doubt. That's Benny Cutie Cho.
Impact, where impact is asked for.
This guy has his hands burning right now. I'm very sure he has the momentum. He is the obvious MVP for that game. You know, it totally boosted his morale. I'm very sure on Benny Cutie.
For NXP, banning out the Lunox this time. And then all those hate specials. And they know that the Lunox might be a problem in the side lanes. Maybe to be controlled by Zapnu in there as the lane stabilizer. You're looking at those heroes. I'm looking at the ban on something like a Chango now for Execration, or evidently the Valier. Valier was
Chester hero. Yeah.
a good Jester hero indeed.
Loyu is still available here. You got PNK still online for the side of NXP.
They need a side lane stabilizer again. A wave clear for NXP Solid. I think that they learned their lesson previously. So I'm looking at Chango for the side lanes.
Yeah, Django.
Something along the lines of Alice, but not Alice, because obviously Alice is banned out. You need a mage in the side lanes. And NXP Solid might be... Okay, so it's just gonna catch it now. All in on the physical damage.
Execration start going with Django, just with this. But
they also already have the Farsa, so this is probably why not they're considering it. That's why.
But we still lacking a side lane here for Execration.
Yi Sun-shin is available, but that might not be the best for NXP Solid. There's Gatal Cash to start the jump from NXP. There's a lot of ways for them to peel to the backline, so instead they go Lancelot and X-Borg.
Very, very stable comp here for Execration. Alright.
And the Execration game number 3 decided that they will not be as gambling.
That is a very safe lineup. Yeah.
Very safe. I don't like the Lancelot, however. But this is only because of the fact that NXP Solid picked up a very dive composition. But now, maybe they go Liu Yi now. Instead, they go Kagura. So it's almost the same. You have that big AoE team fight, and you also have a little bit of wave clear in the end.
Yeah, I'm worrying actually about the Lancelot here onto Hate. I mean, the most explosive player I still see, and a more stable player on the Lancelot would be on H2, would fall into the hands of H2. Even Full Clip might be more stable, and even Drix. Hate, I know my doubts on Hate is still not yet cleared. Not to mention, Chester has a nice pick there on the Kagura for those melee lineups. Right?
There's a lot of good catch coming out from NXP, but I guess the problem that they have might still be as the same as in the previous game. Game number 2, they don't have the best wave clear in the world.
Yeah.
While they do have the Kagura, that Kagura spending all of his time just clearing the wave in the mid game and the late game. Might be the best for next play. However, I still don't feel as comfortable for Execrations because they do field the Lancelot, and there's a lot of catch in there.
Yeah.
There's Gatot Catch that can... Here's the thing, right? The Thorn Rose, as good as it is as a tool to dodge a lot of skills, you can still anticipate it. And there's Kufra that I always feel is a good counter against the Lancelot.
Yes. You could just layer, wait out one Thorn Rose, wait out one Puncture, and you could flicker ult.
That's right.
That's the thing about the Kufra. Here's the thing. I think one of the edge heroes here for Execration would be the Farsa.
Yeah.
And also Benecutis Cho. I always have very high expectation on Benecutis Cho. But yeah, we forgot we got Chakno here.
Chakno special.
Alright. So this might be it. It might be a nice saving grace here for Execration, because we did mention that upon revealing the first 3 picks, Execration is taking on a good form, right?
That's right.
But I'm gonna be sticking on to my prediction. I would still stick with NXP.
Alright. Nevertheless, Shinbu, what I do like about Execration is that they have this Atlas, and there's no Purify for NXP Solid.
Yes, that's no problem.
However, NXP Solid, they still have Khalid, a very good anti-all-in strategy in our next play Solid. Obviously with the sustain. Nevertheless, I want to see how Hate will use this Lancelot in a game that he will not be as comfortable in.
Indeed. And NXP has a good read on the disruption being done here by Chaknu. It is going to be a bit of a slow game, totally early game, but don't worry, I'm very sure we have a very bloody fight, considering the lineups here, considering the teams.
Yeah.
Execration, we just need to be careful of the team fights. Earlier, we keep on mentioning that NXP has a nice early game, has a nice lane control, has a nice pickup capacity. But in terms, they need to be careful on taking team fights against Execration. This time, I would be advising that for Execration, because the Kagura is very threatening.
Yeah. You know what? Here's something that I'm gonna say that's weird. I think that in this game we have to eliminate our analysis of the micro between the matchups, but maybe just depend on how the both teams will approach this, because again, there's a lot of weakness when it comes to the Lancelot. There's also weakness when it comes to the lineup of Next Play Solid. So both of them have their pros and their cons, that when they do clash, it will always depend on how they will execute. And as cliche as that sounds, man, it's literally what's gonna happen. However, on a micro scale, I still will favor the lineup of NXP Solid.
All right.
Because of the fact that they have an easier way to push as compared to push in the late game, right? As compared to this lineup of Execration, that when the Lancelot doesn't finish this game by 15 minutes, it's incredibly hard for them to dive now.
Yeah.
That is if Next Play Solid is gonna play as genius as Execration did in game number 2 when it comes to defending, right? Because it's not the best when it comes to defenses for Next Play Solid. But if they do play it as smart as what Execration did in the first game, they do have the chance in the late game.
Yeah, and I would account for the new picks on the lineup of NXP here.
Yeah.
We did mention that an Execration here is in their good form.
Yeah.
We got some picks who's really on to the favored side of NXP, like a Kufra.
Yeah.
On Yawi.
Yeah.
All right, we still get the Ling for H2 here. What about the timers?
Okay.
Late game favors one. I kind of feel that. I mean, seeing game number two, I kind of feel that NXP should close out the game quicker.
Yeah. So it's easier for me to say that it's NXP. They have Ling, which is a superior late game superior late game hero compared to the Lancelot. Absolutely. Then again, there's an Atlas factor from Execration. I always felt that if there is no Purify for your opponents, an Atlas with the true aim on his ultimate and with the right timing can win the games no matter what. Even when they're behind by 5k gold, they can eliminate their opponents with the Lancelot the Atlas combo, especially because this is Chaknu and there's no Purify on the side of Next Play Solid. So if you're asking me what my predictions will be in the late game, it's scientifically Next Play Solid, but emotionally Execration. There it is.
Emotionally Execration. That's some good pick. I'm actually trying to review the schedule for the matchup. They're within the same group, so they will be facing each other once again.
Yeah, that's right. So there's round 2 at least.
We got a round 2 for here. We will have there surely be a rematch, and I'm just curious about the post-game banter for this.
What would you call this matchup?
Is it totally bad blood? I would say
bad blood. Oh, yeah, right. It's
totally bad blood.
So bad blood number 2 is coming in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, we could maybe name the second matchup so Unforgiven, something.
Oh my!
So hardcore, right? Something edgy, maybe.
Something edgy more.
Because that's what's happening right now between these two teams.
Okay, so a standard setup for both teams, and Execration is leading in terms of gold. That's what you get from a massive wave clear.
But they do have tendencies here for NEJ. Always staying in the back line. But that's the setup. That's the call for setup here. For NXP, that's what I'm talking about.
They get baited in.
That's kind of what I'm talking about hate.
Yeah. So the thing with Lancelot is that if you land your dashes, which is considered as the Phantom Execution, and your what do you call puncture? There it is. You can infinitely go to use your dash. But if your opponents group up and they're in range of one dash, that's considered already
one dash.
One dash, no reset.
On two targets, right?
Exactly.
No reset. Yeah, that's the thing.
NXP, what they did on that first blood is that they said, okay, the boat is sinking, let's group ourselves into 3.
Yeah.
And that spelled the doom for Hate. Hate had an angle, but he did not realize that NXP Solid can outplay him there.
Yeah, I actually love the hero design on Lancelot. It's like a beautiful duelist. He likes taking these triangle formations, not just in the form of the Torndos, but on the puncture.
That's right.
Again, the more spread out the targets are, the better for him.
Yeah.
That makes his dash, that gives more sense on his dash. And the Maxir gets caught out. And that's what we're talking. I mean, not we're talking about, but those are quite the easy pickups there by NXP without any conversion. On Execration.
I wonder if Execration have exhausted all of their adrenaline after all those pauses and those remakes, because that's a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes, particularly that jump from E to max, and you cannot afford that in the early stages of the game. Oh no!
Very, very interesting play the sync between these two teams. You got here Chaknu dance around with his own Fatal Links. It forces Benecutie to walk. It forces the the Blade of Tempest to H2 here by Benecutie onto the side. Hate was able to get a kill. I'm not so sure, but of course he gets killed as well by H2. 1-for-1, ladies and gentlemen, but overall a 4-for-1 in favor still of NXP.
No, man, this is very scrappy from Execration.
Yeah.
And nevertheless, this is Execration anyways, right? This is what you expect.
What you expect from a game
from
as
this guys.
Yeah, that's why we're not so surprised on the early mistakes, right?
Early game mistakes.
Yeah, and the problem here is that we cannot really say if this continues on, Execration will be lost because that's not always the case for Execration.
Oh, I kind of want to say that Execration did use an early game composition in game number 2. And Roger said he's on a timer.
Yeah.
And they still won it after not having the control in the early stages of the game. I will dare say that it's literally the same this time in game number 1.
Yeah.
Execration needs to win the early game.
Yeah. Just a quick look onto the items. I was looking into... Alright, let's go for the play-by-play here, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be Atlas, though, falling down quickly. Renegade zones out everyone. Actually, just one Etomax with that Avatar of Guardian. I just want to emphasize... 5-minute mark, actually, we got the Clock of Destiny bought onto Chester. That was an early lead there for a support. That is big burst there for Chester. Added to his combo, he got the flame shot.
The 4 assists allows him to be so farm at this. Renegade might even survive this, and indeed he will.
He got the turtle on.
The shield. Oh, wow. Okay.
Man.
So next play, Solid is definitely on a roll now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you're looking into the numbers, that's next place control already.
Man, this is really scary for Execration.
Yeah.
They are so dependent on winning this early game, and they need to steamroll. They don't have the right tools in the late game apart from their Chaknu ultimate, which is the Atlas Fatal Links. But apart from that, they might find it incredibly hard against the lineup of NXP Solid.
Execration always plays with a miracle, and it will require a miracle to win this one. Look at that. That might be the 4th death. Full combo here by next play. Puts in the P to perfect execution, ladies and gentlemen, against Execration. You got Chaknu getting destroyed there. And the only ray of hope is not there for the party. It is going to be Benecutie. A 4-4 non-exchange NXP Solid.
Oh man, this is where your classic video content makers will make something like the symphony of skills.
Yes, man.
From NXP Solid, it's like a dance that it's not all together. It's layered properly, especially with that Yaoi initiation.
Perfect
and we are saying this. Yaoi special, and whoever pops off when it comes to the supporting roles really elevates their team. Yaoi with the jump, followed up by Renegade's ultimate.
Yeah, this is how the fans love NXP. NXP knows how to layer their spells in an explosive manner. And man, hate here.
Yeah.
Again, like what we expected, we're sitting here 0-4 on the main core, on the Lancelot. Totally not good news. Remember that in a way, Lancelot kind of plateaus as well by the late game.
It's a problem with the Lancelot.
Yeah.
I can see that even a drop, we did say that we are so scared of this Lancelot. We were talking about how incredibly hard this is for him.
Yeah.
And it's already at 5 deaths, 7 minutes in. And Execration, you're gonna blame yourselves now for drafting that Lancelot.
Yeah, man, and that is the damage we are talking about. Down for Chester. He did receive the Fatal Links. It doesn't matter. Maybe after receiving the last Insanity, it will matter. Gets the kill aside for Zapnu. And H2 would have to walk away.
Oh, man.
Keep on saying, man. I mean, it's what we expected on the Lancelot pick. That's the problem.
We were saying that
killing spree Lancelot.
Yeah, there's a lot of
not even gonna be touching the late game
That's right. Now Benecutie is gonna be pummeled down, forced to use the ultimate. The Phantom Execution is quite off the mark, but they still take out one. Unfortunately, they will not get an additional. While they badly want to give it to Hate, Hate did not have the enough range for him to be able to reach Yaoi. And when all things is said and done, they weren't able to give the kill to the core, and that was a support death. And next play, Solid are not really hampered by that kill, by that death. I mean,
Execration needs to be reminded of the bad blood of the importance of winning this match. That's
they need that anger, that adrenaline back in them, because it seems like they have really lost it at this game.
Yeah, look, H2 with the
nice.
bad blood against Benny. H2, he went for the dive. He didn't commit. He was able to walk away very quick on the finish points.
So the punishment from Execration is to just take the turtle, but that might not be even given to
Oh
them.
my god.
OMB.
Heartbreaking.
Heartbreak indeed.
So heartbreaking.
Everything is falling apart for Execration like a house of cards. Take one away, and that's Lancelot, and it's already over.
After one of the biggest wins for a regular season, that game number 2.
Oh, to
we see
lose
this,
like
man.
this. Talking about mental reset, not
6,000 gold lead here for NXP.
And
Man.
I think that we have to go back to the drafting lead.
Yeah, social media will be so explosive this Friday night. Everyone will be on their phones.
It's a freaky Friday, but NXP Solid, they have solidified their case. Yawi with the jump, but
Yeah. Remember the jump? There is the follow-up done by Renegade. H2
no.
follows through. Yawi still alive. Was able to let his own ultimate down for Zapnu after bagging in Benny Q. But still, it's going to be Yawi saying his goodbye. Zapnu here. His immortality gets popped. Chaknu follows up. Fatal Links. Where is that? Not going to be hit. Already legendary after the double kill secured here by H2. Mega kill.
MB is feeling it, even diving. That's another death on Hate.
Yeah.
And they have hated Hate now. It's just E2 Max, and he cannot defend.
Oh my god.
And this might be it.
It might be it. We're seeing actually the artillery minion. If no one is actually tagging no artillery minion, the defense of the base will be up. The anti-backdoor for that part. 570.
A 10,000 gold lead for NXP Solid 10 minutes in.
Man, the draft.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, the draft, man. The
Draft.
The draft. I would say the draft. I just on the Lancelot. I mean, it's not really so stellar seeing the Xborg there, the Lancelot. Maybe seeing something so unique. Like as unique as an Alice,
Yeah.
you know, on that last pick.
NXP Solid just drafted this so well. So they go for the Kufra Link combo, which is a little bit greedy, but it works almost all the time because the idea is you pick the counter against your opponents.
I'm worrying about the performance rating here. Wolf.
Oh, that's right.
We might be seeing some bronze performance rating
We
here.
might see the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
So after the Link pick and the Link Kufra back-to-back picks, Execution went for the Atlas as well as the Cho. We expected the Cho to be there, and we also saw that Atlas is a good pick for Execution because it might be banned out by NXP Solid. The problem was they revealed so much of their hands, so it's definitely a side lane Cho and definitely support Atlas.
Yeah.
And what you get from it is the fact that this is so all-in. It allowed NXP to just pick up that Khalid.
Yeah, Khalid.
And
counters, you know, Kagura.
Kagura. So this is your counter against the all-in strategies, because what all-in strategies do is that they jump in, they hope to get a pickup or two, and they don't have a plan B.
And the problem about all-in strategies, they have obvious inherent weaknesses.
That's
Normally,
right.
heroes that has all-in kits are very vulnerable to pickups.
That's right.
Especially all-in compositions. And all-in compositions, they require complete sets.
Yeah.
If someone gets plucked out quickly, the strength of an all-in composition is easily removed here. And that's why it's now so hard for Execration, because even if they went all in here, their core will not be adept to follow up. You know, 0-6 on that. That will clearly lack in damage. Facing a Gatot Kacha for that part. You know, you got a Kufra as well.
And a 10-0-5 Ling.
And 10-0-5 Ling.
That's big problem
H2
for NXP Solid now. And it's not like H2O did something that's really out of the box now. Or it's not like the best Ling performance, like skill-wise. But the fact that NXP Solid allowed H2O, hashtag conserve H2O in this game, it's wonderful to see. And that's the complete opposite of what Execution did with channeling the hate.
Yeah,
they did not.
I actually want to mention. And acknowledge that NXP's competition shouldn't be as easy to go for push, but the lead is too much here, right? The lead is too much here.
It's massive.
You can expect an inhibitor going down against Execration here. Top lane is gone. Bottom lane here, at least the wave clear is complete.
Yeah.
Lord is also cleared as well by Execration, but there you go. That's what we are talking about. The lead is too much. You'd be expecting an inhibitor threat to really go down.
So they go for their airstrike to go with that ultimate from the Xborg. The jumper we have.
Alright! Alright, Chaknu sets in with a Fatal Links, makes an explosive play of his own, and no one's focusing under the base. It's a shutdown against H2, ladies and gentlemen. Execration tries to answer 4. Inhibitor turned on the bottom lane, already saying goodbye, and there is gonna be it.
No
That's
way!
a 1 by 1, and that's gonna be removed, and everyone is gone. Onto the NXP side, Execration takes the defense by wiping out Solid. And those are kind of late game timers. Those are pretty long timers.
Oh my goodness! Emotion from Execration. We were talking about this.
Oh my god, they can
No
take
way!
this. They might be able to jump
way!
They have enough damage. They're banning
No
it.
way!
There's the minion wave. Ladies and gentlemen,
They have the minions!
they have the minions. And that's
do
it. That's it. Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god. Chaknu. Chaknu in the place. The bad blood is settled! That's it! That's it! 2-1! And Execration has won! Execration has won!
No words! We'll explain this!
Oh my god!
Like I told you, man.
Oh my
Science.
god! Zapno is crying! Zapno is crying!
Chakno can't believe it. He just landed
Oh my god!
the fatal licks of his life.
Look at the face here of NXP!
Duality of man.
This is...
Oh my goodness.
This is MPL Philippines.
Take a moment, everyone, to
my God.
appreciate.
It's crazy. Look at Hate. He's crying. He knows how bad he was doing on that game.
Oh man, he what did we say? It will only take one massive initiation, and it seemed like everybody from Execution just all of a sudden felt that they've channeled whatever oversoul they have.
10k gold lead. 10k gold lead.
This
Two
is
inhibitor turrets gone. 2 inhibitor turrets gone.
probably the only game that we are gonna see the winner having less gold compared to the loser.
Yeah, man. And that's the only team fight they've won. That was a defense. That was one setup that was...
And one artillery minion to finish them all.
Yeah, one artillery minion to finish everything.
No, everything was laid properly, and we were talking about the Atlas Fatal Links, and when they group up together, just that Ferndos just will tear them up, and obviously the Feather Dare Strike in there.
Greatest moments. Those that
Greatest-
would be I would bet that will be included in one of the greatest moments of MPL here in the Philippines. It's very hard to be an Execration fan, and I lost my lunch. I lost my Saturday lunch to Manjin. I don't care. Doesn't matter. I actually requested an
you'll
additional.
have additional
Yeah,
one.
I got an additional one. So, congratulations to Execration. That was a very beautiful game. I lost my lunch, but we won. Everyone won.
Thank you, Execration.
Let's go, Butters.
Really happened there? Saan nagkamali? Or where did things go south here for the side of NXP? Himayin natin yan unti-unti. But first, let's head in dun sa ating post-game stats. Let's check dito yung mga item build nila. H2O got a lot of stuff going on for him kasi sobrang ganda din ng kanyang setup in the, sabihin natin, in the early game. Nakuha niya lahat ng buffs na kailangan niya. And even Hate, siya dapat yung mag-shutdown dito kay H2O, but it seems that it went the other way around. Hate dito didn't really have the best game, but still, it paid off. Ito lang yung masasabi ko ito yung masasabi ko dito. Chester was in the perfect position to actually counter Etomax. Si Etomax dito, ang dali niyang abutin onto the side of NXP. And alam naman natin na yung Farsa dito is isa sa mga pinakamalalaking artillery. Kumbaga, kapag sinabi natin na kaya niyang pumesto ng maganda at kaya niya ding magbigay ng damage output dito para sa team niya. But then again, you have Renny J, you have Chester, so accounted for siya in the early game. So a lot of the engagements dito na ginagawa ng NXP ay pabor talaga on their side. But things just happened in a way na parang pinilit dito ng NXP yung pinakahuling push nila. They could have gone a bit more conservative sa lahat ng bagay na ginagawa nila. NXP, they really knew how to hold the lead at that point. Kung nakita nyo yung camera, yung pinakahuling camera view dito sa side ng NXP, they were devastated. Alam nila na dapat sa kanila na talaga yung larong yon. MB dito, his performance on the Khalid last week, sobrang, NXP solid. Sobrang solid na kanyang performance. MB dito right now, he did well. Sabihin na lang natin na pareho lang din yung kanyang nabigay in terms of being a tanky hero per se, but still, it was all about that split second decision making na tinatawag dito sa ating game. So, right now, let's head on to the post-match data. This is the thing about H2O. Look at the turret damage na nagawa niya dito. It's really high. It's on, sabihin natin, this is 11,174. While on the side of Benny Cutie dito, naging patient lang sobra si Benny. He just went for the split push. Alam niyang hindi talaga sila nakaposisyon dito para manalo. He just went in, tried to take the turrets kasi yun talaga is sa mga magagandang bagay na pwede mo gawin if you really want to get back into the game. It's just get a turret, get a bit of map control back, and position mo yung sarili mo na kapag ka, kunyari, napalalim yung kalaban, you can actually go for the punish. But then again, look at the turtle lane dito onto the side of NXP. 3 turtle ang nakuha dito netong team na to. And Ling, he was really set para doon sa mga fights. And nakikita niyo naman dito, 10-1-6, it was really good for him. Kumbaga, si Benny Cutie dapat dito yung mag-shutdown sa kanya, but then again, it didn't really look that way in the end. Let's head on to our replay and let's check kung ano nga ba yung mga nangyari sa game na to. There is this thing about Kagura na sabihin natin si Kagura ngayon isn't really, masasabi na siguro natin na Kagura is one of the top picks ngayon na pwedeng kunin for the support role. Not everyone does it, ladies and gentlemen. Meron lang iilan. Let me give you an example. Aura PH. Aura PH, they really like to go for it. At kung papansinin nyo dito, yung lineup ng NXP Solid, it's really easy para dito kay Khalid na itama yung kanyang ulti just because of the sheer amount of holds na meron sila dito. You have Yawi, you have Kufra, you have Kagura, you have Renegade on the taunt. So, this is going to be a very easy positioning or setup para dito kay Khalid na ma-turn niya ito into the best setups para sa team niya. Execution on the other hand, kung titignan mo dito kung paano nila ginagawa yung mga fights sila, they were really just going for the scraps of war. Hindi nila talaga fino-force out yung isang buong laban. And this is the part na talagang pakaramdam na natin, NXP Solid, they're gonna win. But at this certain moment, Chakno dito with that setup, damage output from Hate, and lahat ng binato ni Zapno dito, it just really went on to NXP Solid, and that's the thing. You should know when to fight, and kapag yung position na yun isn't really good on your side, then you probably should enforce it. Eto Max dito, the player of the game, Farsa, and man, this guy really loves to, play around with this hero. Kung nakikita nyo, has Clock of Destiny, 535, and look at the damage dealt, 55k for a support. Malaking bagay yan, and he really did this job. Kumbaga, ito yung isa sa mga pinakamahihirap na games na pwedeng gawin ni Etomax, but he did pull it off, and miraculously, they just came back from this game na akala natin lahat talaga na sila na ang matatalo. So, yeah, I think in a way, the game actually tells its sorry na sarili niya, but still there is a lot to get from the player interview na mangyayari mamaya-maya. Di natin alam kung sino yung interviewin natin, but still there is going to be a giveaway code para sa inyo. Since nanood kayo and ang taas ng viewership na nangyari sa atin, and man, this is wild. And naniniwala ako na maraming tao na napasok dito sa ating stream na ngayon lang nakapanood ng MPL. So welcome to the MPL. Ito po yung MPL at sana bumalik po kayo dito at manood sa amin. Giveaway code, dahil yan ay nandito kayo at meron pa tayong isang giveaway code dahil doon sa mythical raffle draw na meron tayo. Merong nag-participate na 20,441 people na, alam mo yon, na talagang gusto lang kunin yung skins na meron doon. And that is a skins package, pero mamaya natin, actually bukas pa natin pag-uusapan yan. So right now, I think it's time for the interview. Okay. So, there is a bit of a, sabihin na natin, change here in the terms of Chakno being the Atlas para dito sa team. I kind of get why they went for an Atlas doon because they really just wanted to go for the power setup nung first 3 picks nila. If you would look at it, yung ginawa nila doon, as far as I remember, ang nauna nilang pick doon was the Farsa, was actually the Cho, and the Atlas, yung pangatlong pick nila. So, that was a really greedy setup coming out from Execration. And I'm actually surprised that they pulled it off. You don't really do that kasi usually ngayon, yung mga teams balanced lang yung ginagawa nilang drafting. They get support, a tank, or a side lane, or 2 side lanes, then a tank or support. So, wow, Execration done. I don't, well, I'm actually surprised that they did that. And in terms of dealing the damage, I feel that the AOE really worked on their side. Then again, NXP Solid, hindi naman natin pwede tanggalin sa kanila yung performance nila doon. It was a really good performance na himay nila kung saan mahina doon yung lineup ng Execration. Na-push nila na na-push yun, but at the last moment na kailangan nilang mag-show up, nagkaroon sila ng problema, nagkaroon sila ng lapse in terms of decision making, and that really costed them the game. I mean, H2O, nagamit niya yung heroes niya. They were really comfortable with everything na binato sa kanila, but at that moment in time, hindi mo talaga kasi masasabi kung, alam mo yon, ano ang mangyayari sa mga bagay-bagay na to. Bilog talaga ang bola ng MPL. Minsan nasa taas, minsan nasa baba, and yun yung pinakita sa atin ng Execration. And historically speaking, hindi lang yun yung first time na nakagawa ng ganitong malaking comeback ang Execration. I remember Execration did this against Archangel way back Season 3. Yung nag-champion, yung Archangel na team. So there is a lot of things going on. I would like to ask the players dito kung ano ba yung pumapasok sa kanila. You can see hate actually. Hindi ko alam kung umiyak at that moment in time And si Billy din ata umiyak, si Zapnu. I'm pretty sure, ladies and gentlemen, na itong mga team na to, they really have a lot of respect for each other. Magkakaibigan tong mga to, even though masyadong madaming masasakit na salita ang nabato sa isa't isa. But still, remember guys, gusto ko lang ipaalala sa inyo na you don't have to, hate yung mga kalaban ng mga favorite team nyo just to make your team look superior. Tatandaan natin na we're trying to promote healthy, sabihin natin, healthy and fun environment para sa ating mga pro players na supportahan nyo sila and sana bigyan nyo pa ng pansin yung ibang mga tao dito. And that's what MPL is all about. Healthy competition, and tatandaan natin at the end of the day, tayo-tayo lang din ang magkakasama at tayo-tayo lang din ang magkakaibigan. So this is only week 3, day number 1. Ganito nakainit yung mga laban. And I'm pretty sure, ladies and gentlemen, na madaming nasagot sa mga tanong nyo. Hate, H2O, anong tingin nyo? Pakiramdam ko, pinatunayan naman nila yung sarili nila doon. They were really consistent sa lahat ng bagay na pinakita nila. And I'm pretty sure na this game or this series will actually develop them to have a better draft, to have a better outlook on rotation sa mga susunod nilang games. And I'm pretty sure na mas madaming lessons sa tutunan yung mga teams natin dito in terms of, just playing against each other. So, ladies and gentlemen, hindi na tayo pupunta ng ating interview. And we would like to thank our following sponsors. Our official telco partner, Smart. Forge stronger bonds with your team as you conquer the battlefield with Smart Giga Games. Enjoy 1 gigabyte games all day for Mobile Legends, Facebook Gaming, and more. Dial *123# now and choose Giga Games 99. Our official sponsor, Realme. Realme is celebrating their first Realme Fan Fest and #DareToBeRealme campaign. Visit their official page at fb.com/RealmePhilippines to know more. We also have our official sponsor, Gillette. Get up to 50 diamonds with every purchase of Gillette's Mach 3 Razor, Vector 3 Razor, and or Blue 3 Simple Force Pack in select Pure Gold doors nationwide. #Shave the day with Gillette. We do have our partner in esports, PayMaya. Get 5% balik bayad when you purchase your gaming pins via PayMaya, the better way to pay. Promo runs until September 15 and get free 50 peso credit from PayMaya when you download and register using the code MLBB. Just upgrade and add money to your account to get the reward instantly using the 50 pesos reward to level up your gaming by buying gaming pins in PayMaya. That was a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to our other partner in esports, TikTok Live. Search nyo lang yung MLBB sa TikTok or Mobile Legends ng TikTok to watch legendary videos. Again, search nyo yung Mobile Legends sa TikTok to search for legendary videos, ng mga Mobile Legends gameplay, tips, and other stuff. We also have our official gaming headset partner, Logitech G, Here Like a Pro, and of course, this tournament is powered by Moonton. So maraming salamat, and that is it. Hindi lang yun yung laban natin ngayon. We also have Bren and BSB upcoming. So huwag kayong aalis, dyan lang kayo. MPL, PH, we'll be right back. Pero bago pala ang lahat, papakita muna natin yung top 5 plays brought to you by Realme.
Legit, right? Not quite. Just like your disposable razor. It's time you switch your disposable razor for your legit first shave so you can be every bit legit. Gillette Mac 3.
For a closer shave, less irritation, switch to
Gillette Mac 3.
Mas gutom ako ngayon. Gusto ko makuha yung championship ng Season 6. Mahirapan pero tatrabahuin. Yun yung pangarap namin. Kasi di lang basta nandito ka, laro-laro ka lang. Hindi ganun eh. Gusto namin makuha yung achievement namin na makakuha ng championship. Palagi kang positive, may mararating ka sa buhay. Palagi ako naniniwala na makakapasok ako ng LPL. Mindset ko lang, laro is laro. Lalarin ko lang yung laro ko. And alam ko may ibubuga ako.
Shider is back!
Nung nawala ako ng Season 2, may katim na ako sila Demon, which is yung katim ko ngayon na si Drix tsaka si Demon. Palagi lang kami nag-ano, offline tour na. Nung Season 3 and Season 4, pinilit kong makapasok. Pero, fail. Nang Season 5, yun, kinuha ko ng BSB din, pinalad naman ulit. Naging fighter ako kasi nabago yung meta. Kasi mid lane ako nun dati. So, malaking adjustments yung nabago sa akin. Lumaki yung hero pools ko. Marami rin kasi nagbago sa laro Sobrang nag-mature ako.
Pushback itong solo kill by Shider QT on the carry at the bottom lane. Walang kalaban-laban po dito si Kahal.
Yung Dragon naging
Marami ako natutunan, lalo na kay Cap 1. Kasi every time na may error ako, sabi ko sa kanya, huwag siyang mahiyang magsabi sa akin kasi gusto ko nakikinig ako. Gusto ko matuto lalo. Si Ana, palagi rin nagbibigay ng payo sa akin. Mag-champion, kasama yung team ko ngayon. Yun naman yung hangad ng lahat, di ba? Yung makakuha ng title. Magtatrabaho ko na mabuti para sa karir na to. Mas pag-iigihan ko pa. Siyempre, pangarap mo makapunta pa rin ng MPL. So, masaya ako. Kahit nung wala pa ako sa MPL, masaya pa rin ako. Kasi ginagawa ko naman yung gusto kong gawin. Kaya gusto ko rin makapasok ng MPL kasi gusto ko rin makatulong sa family ko. Thank you, Ma, sa suporta. Sa ate ko, sa kuya ko, lahat sila kasi tuwing may laban kami, lahat sila nanonood. Pero may isang taong palagi naniniwala sa akin, yung girlfriend ko, si Ashley. Palagi niya sinasabi pag nadadown ako, laban lang palagi. Huwag may stress. Every time na pag natatalo kami, nandiyan siya palagi sa akin sa tabi. Kahit hindi ko kasama, talagang pinapaiwan. Siyempre sa teammate ko, kay Boyet, kay Wilson, kay Drix, Robert, tsaka kay Coach, maraming salamat. Kasi nung Season 2, hindi pa naman ako sobrang mature. Kala ko parang wala lang. Parang may sponsorship lang na ganyan, maglalaro ka lang. Pero para siyang trabaho talaga. Kunyari, palagi na sa office, 8 hours, maglalaro ka.
Go to BSB!
Lumawak yung isip ko sa paglalaro and sa mga nakapaligid. Kaya mas pinag-iigihan ko mabuti. Maraming kailangan trabahuin. Pag kailangan mo ng ganito,